always have the time to focus in and talk about the big ideas behind the important issues. Enter Upstream Ideas online at upstream-ideas.com. Upstream Ideas, in partnership with the Illinois Policy Institute, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted beliefs. Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now at upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to help encourage you to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit freer, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
Loans are made by WebBank. Rates and terms vary based on credit history. Amazon is not a sponsor of this promotion. Other restrictions apply. See website for details.
I was making great progress on building my savings, but then I get hit with an unexpected car repair bill.
Keeping a close eye on my credit score allowed me to buy my first house, but an unexpected medical emergency set me back.
When the unexpected happened, Avant was there to help. If you need to borrow $2,000 to $35,000, try Avant. It's fast, simple, and transparent.
Everything is done online. There are no prepayment fees, and no collateral is required. And you can instantly check your rate with no impact to your credit score.
Over 500,000 customers have experienced the convenience of a loan through Avant. No wonder Avant has an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. And now, Avant will give you a $50 Amazon.com gift card after your first payment is made on time. To check your rates and to get this special radio offer, go to Avant.com today and enter promo code 5252 when applying. That's AVANT.com, promo code 5252. Go to Avant.com today and enter promo code 5252.
My house looks tired. My kitchen counters are like the ones from that 70s show. And my bathroom is help. I'm ready for change.
As homes age, it makes sense to remodel. It's much more cost-effective than moving. Choosing the right contractor is as important as your kitchen, bath, or addition. I'm Robert Soto, owner of Midland Development Group. Over decades of experience working with homeowners like you, I've excelled at finding the perfect solution for your individual needs. From concept to design, all the way to completion of your project. I also share your values and know you demand the best quality, price, and dependability. I hope you'll give us a chance to prove to you that my word is my bond. We're Home Advisor affiliated and look forward to discussing your project.
Contact Robert Soto of Midland Development Group. Call 312-617-7335 or visit midlanddevelopmentgroup.com. Midland Development Group, where price and quality meet. 312-617-7335 or at midlanddevelopmentgroup.com.
Despite President Trump's repeated requests, Senate Republicans failed again to repeal Obamacare. If you're tired of calling a bureaucrat at an 800 number to help you navigate Obamacare, then you need a local expert on your side. That's right, your own health insurance mentor. C. Stephen Tucker, C.S. Tucker, from healthinsurancementors.com is someone I know and trust. He's a 20-year licensed broker who's been educating AM 560 listeners on the Affordable Care Act for the past 6 years.
Thanks, Dan. ACA open enrollment is now only 45 days long. From November 1st to December 15th, you cannot be denied coverage based on a pre-existing condition. And depending on your income, you may find a more affordable plan. With narrow networks, even fewer choices, and higher deductibles, now more than ever, you need an expert to help you gain access to the best hospitals and specialists available. Call me. I can help.
Thanks, Steve. How can our listeners get in touch with you?
They can visit healthinsurancementors.com or call me directly at 630-674-1551. That's 630-674-1551.
At 5:09 from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim Talamonte.
Good morning, David. In northwest Indiana, we're seeing residual delays on eastbound 8094 from Burr to Broadway. Crash just cleared. It had been blocking a couple of lanes. Willow Springs, there's a collision. This is in the area near LaGrange Road and Archer, and a car smacked the wall there. The CTA has some residual delays on the Blue Line for O'Hare-bound trains. There's police activity. City of Chicago at Kedzie, Holman. Kennedy, inbound. There is access once again to the Eisenhower outbound. That ramp has just reopened. Kennedy, delay-free right now. So is the Edens. So is the Ike. No problem to report on the Stevenson. On the Ryan outbound, there's a crash on the ramp to the outbound Stevenson. The left lane is blocked near the end of that ramp. There is some road work as well on the outbound Ryan at 87. Inbound I-57, heavy 103rd to the merge. 18 minutes from I-80 to the Ryan. Bishop 421, delay start on 103rd. Tollways are looking fine. traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next, but now the forecast, and here's your meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Mostly cloudy skies throughout the day and night. A brief shower or two during the day, high 55. An evening shower in a few spots, low tonight 38. Clouds and some sun tomorrow, high 49. Cloudy at night, low 42. Rain Saturday, high 52. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
48 degrees at the lakefront in Midway, 47 degrees at O'Hare. Next traffic at 5:30. Rather, next news update at 5:30. In the meantime, get continuous coverage of the latest news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Chicago's Morning Answer starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by HealthQuest Radio with Dr. David Kolbaba. HealthQuest Radio is heard Saturday mornings at 11 o'clock here on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Well, Houston, we have a championship. How about those Astros?
Yeah. George Springer's pretty good, huh?
Yeah, he had a good series, that's for sure. Nice moment between Yuli Gurriel and Yu Darvish. You saw that, right?
Yes. After he went like this, then he went like this. Oh.
Well, right. The their previous confrontation earlier in the series where Gurriel took Darvish deep. Then he made a kind of, he pulled his eyes back to.
That was awful.
Some kind of having fun at Darvish's expense. Darvish is Japanese, and later apologized. Anyway, Darvish started Game 7 yesterday. Didn't have a good night, but he's handled the whole thing with class. And Gurriel tipped his batting helmet before he stepped into the batter's box. So, a nice moment to put that behind them. And now you can take a World Series ring off the Justin Verlander, Kate Upton wedding registry.
Oh, that's right, because he has a ring now.
Sanchez success. Here's a ground ball right side, could do it. The Houston Astros are world champions for the first time.
I don't know why I'm so happy, but I felt bad for them because they got swept by the White Sox in 2005. So
it's true. They were an inferior team. But also, you feel good for them because of everything that Houston has gone through with Hurricane Harvey damage. Mm-hmm. And then to have a World Series kind of psychic benefit to the denizens of Houston. So that's nice.
People forget that 71 people died in Hurricane Harvey. You don't see them. You don't see their faces splashed all over the cable news because then there's another hurricane after that, then another hurricane after that. But, and I love how the athletes have rallied around, whether it's the Houston Texans or the Houston Astros. They really are for the people. And I loved watching this entire game, but I'm exhausted, I have to tell you. I have baseball fatigue, just like I did last year.
Well, it was
at this time when the Cubs won the World Series in 7 games.
Yeah, a great series, by the way, Cubs fans. You can no longer refer to the Cubs as world champions.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, you have to. You have to put the year in front of it. Oh. Like I can't call the White Sox world champions. I call them the 2005 world champions.
Okay, so now, we'll always be the 2016 world champions.
Right. You're not the world champions anymore, and you never will be again.
So did you see Kate Upton on the field giving Justin Verlander the hug and the kiss and the? I have the pictures.
I don't know why she has to parade herself around other men in front of me like that. I know what she's doing. I don't know why she's trying to make me envious.
I know she got the cute jean jacket with a American flag patch.
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw it.
She's a great American.
Look at America. Oh, and they took selfies together here, Dan. Oh, that must have stung a little bit to see that one. Oh, and here they are kissing on the lips. Oh, and there she is running to him. Oh, she's got a Verlander jean jacket on. I mean, I think it said Prof there before it said Verlander. I mean, I could see the etching of the P and the R and the OFT. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I faded out. I was picturing Kate Upton running to me. I'm sorry. I faded out for a second. I didn't hear the last part of what you said.
Oh, there she is holding the World Series trophy with him in his arms and the trophy in the other arm.
Justin Verlander, luckiest man on the planet.
There she is nestled into his chest when he's hugging her again. Oh, there she is putting on a T-shirt. And they're so happy together.
I'm very happy for them.
Oh, there they are making out again. Oh, there he is, champagne soaked, and she's licking his cheek. Oh,
All right,
there they
let's
are
keep it
taking a
PG
selfie.
here.
Oh, he's holding her in his arms.
Were you stalking them? How do
No.
you have all these photos?
I'm looking at him online.
Yeah,
Spectacular. So when are they getting married?
they're getting married in Italy soon. I'm not going.
You didn't get the invite?
I'm not going. Whether I got the invite or not is immaterial. I've chosen not to go.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So, again, congratulations to the Houston Astros and Justin Verlander.
Houston, we've had a problem. Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Some breaking news. Kevin Spacey's in rehab this morning. No, allegedly. Now, more people have come forward about
rehab
him.
for what? He's just a gay American.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
What?
He might have a problem. He's going to break down his bad behavior, they said. But we'll get to that, the whole growing laundry list of bad actors and directors in Hollywood. But first, here's your forecast. Areas of drizzle with a chance of rain before 4 p.m. Then rain likely after 4 p.m. Areas of fog before noon. Otherwise cloudy, a high near 54. Tomorrow, partly sunny with a high near 49 degrees. Let's get into our alarm detection systems. Traffic Center, here is Jim Telemonte.
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Dan. Eastbound 8094. Traffic is moving well again. There was an earlier crash near Broadway, but it's gone. The delays there have dissipated. Northwest Indiana looks great. The Edens is fine. So is the Kennedy. Express lanes are open inbound. The Eisenhower is fine. So is the Stevenson. On the Ryan outbound, on the ramp to the outbound Stevenson, there's a crash in the left lane. That's near the end of that ramp. I-57 inbound, 18 minutes. I-80 to the merge. Delay start on 103rd. Division Ford is heavy. Stony Island from the feeder ramp there to the Ryan. There was some earlier construction, so it's 23 minutes from 8094 to the Ryan. Outbound is fine at 15. Always are good. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Looking to secure financing on a new home or refinance your existing home? Then you need to call David Hochberg at Pearl Mortgage. According to creditcard.card, American consumer debt has eclipsed $1 trillion. That's $1 trillion. With the Fed's interest rate increasing, American consumers are paying more every month in minimum credit card bills while damaging their credit scores. Home values continue to increase, and there's an outstanding chance you can refinance and eliminate your debt with Team Hochberg's Debt Elimination Program. David and the Team Hochberg mortgage experts will perform a free debt and mortgage evaluation to determine if you can eliminate your debt with a cash-out refinance. To participate, call David now, 312-751-1333, or visit his new website titled WINDDavid.com. That's WINDDavid.com. See what he did there? David and Team Hochberg helped me and thousands of WIND listeners, but he can't help you if you don't call. 312-751-1333 or visit WINDDavid.com. Pearl Mortgage, an equal housing lender, Illinois residential mortgage licensee, 4358 NMLS 19186.
Hey there.
What's up, bruh?
Hello.
Aloha.
Hey, y'all.
Hey. Hola.
Hi.
It takes a lot of voices to create the sound of us. The Y welcomes all of them with open arms. From career readiness to safe spaces, the Y is there, no matter who we are. Now, more than ever, they need your support. Donate to your local Y today. The Y, for a better us.
Read by members of the Y.
One size fits all has no place in your bedroom. Hi, I'm Christian von Rickenbach, founder of Helix Sleep, and we know one mattress can't work for everyone. That's why we created the only mattress built for you. Go to helixsleep.com, take our 2-minute sleep quiz, and we'll build your custom mattress and ship it to you for free. Try it for 100 nights, and if it's not the best sleep you've ever had, we'll pick it up and give you your money back. Go to helixsleep.com/talkradio right now, and we'll give you $50 towards your custom mattress. That's helixsleep.com/talkradio.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity, sponsored by Upstream-Ideas.com. Sometimes an apology and a check is all the justice that one can obtain in a world with imperfect remedies. That's not the case with the IRS. The DOJ settled 2 class action lawsuits against the IRS involving nearly 500 unique parties who shared a common complaint. They had been improperly and arguably illegally targeted by the IRS for their religious or political beliefs. Americans who had their constitutionally guaranteed first freedoms violated received an undisclosed financial settlement and a half-hearted apology. The IRS chalked it up to mismanagement rather than what it was. The most powerful non-military agency of the U.S. government attempting to silence Americans with whom those in charge disagreed on religion and politics. Asking for the contents of an organization's daily affirmations, as the IRS did, is not incompetence, it's predation. So how is it that the self-styled champions of the little guy in the D.C. press corps have left this to be one of the most egregiously underreported stories of government abuse in recent memory? Where are the Woodwards and Bernsteins who purport to serve as a check on the powerful and a vanguard of liberty? There's a legal maxim that justice delayed is justice denied. With respect to the IRS abuses, this was justice delayed, denied, and ignored.
AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So, of course, as is always the case in these situations, in the wake of terrorist attacks such as the one that occurred on that bike path in Manhattan, we learn more in the subsequent days as we get some distance from the incident. And we're learning more about that Uzbekistan radical Islamist terrorist who killed 8 people and injured 11. We are learning, first of all, that he had previously been interviewed by the feds. This has also been a bit of a recurring theme. Now, not quite like the others, but he was interviewed in 2015 after he was listed as a point of contact for 2 men whose names were entered into the Counterterrorism and Criminal Exploitation Units list after they came to the U.S. from quote-unquote threat countries, overstayed their tourist visas, and vanished. The Manhattan truck driver terrorist, though, however, was never the main focus of these investigations. He was never the subject of his own case file, but he was interviewed in with respect to these other 2 men from threat countries that disappeared after overstaying their visas. So that's one bit of information.
He self-radicalized, and excuse me, he chose to strike on Halloween, Dan, because he thought there'd be more people on the street. When
Had
interviewed,
been planning it for some time.
Yeah, he even rented that same truck out a few months ago to make some practice turns and things. And when they interviewed him in his hospital room, he said he felt good about what he did. He asked if he could hang a ISIS flag in his hospital room. He thought about hanging an ISIS flag on that truck that he rented, but decided that it would draw too much attention to himself. And he planned on going onto the Brooklyn Bridge, but he was stopped by that school bus. And I could cry that, I don't know if you saw inside the school bus, there were 2 special needs boys, and they were sitting next to each other in a seat. And thank God that they were on the opposite side of impact. But some citizen went up to had their iPhone and went up to that bus and said, "Are you okay?" And they were crying and they were huddled together. I think one had Down syndrome and one, I don't know what, but they were both special need kids. And it's just, it'll break your heart. If you've got to see that video, it's just amazing. It's just heart-wrenching.
Law enforcement also found 2 phones that they went through. Cell phone 1, 90 videos and 3,800 images of ISIS-related propaganda, many showing ISIS fighters killing people, as well as instructions on bomb making. On cell phone 2, they found internet searches for the Home Depot in Passaic, a search for Halloween in NYC, quote-unquote, and a search for Home Depot truck rentals. And then, of course, federal terrorism charges were announced, which means that he is eligible for the death penalty.
Yeah,
and then they can hang that ISIS flag on his coffin.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's something that President Trump called for last night. In a tweet, he said, that he should receive the death penalty. And, of course, the left this morning, that's going to impact potential jurors, suggestions that will taint the jury pool. I think his own actions have tainted a possible jury pool if he doesn't just plead out and admit that he's guilty.
Also heard from the father of one of the victims. The victim is a 32-year-old man named Darren Drake. His father, James Drake, spoke to Fox News about his son. And why don't we start by remembering who his son was, as he did on Fox.
That really was a miracle, because we tried for almost 12 years, to have a baby. And then finally we had one pregnancy. It didn't work out. But then Darren was born. And his birthday was November 18th. And it was just so beautiful that his mother and I came home from the hospital with him on Thanksgiving Day. it doesn't really get a lot more beautiful than that. And, he had a typical normal upbringing, going to preschool, then becoming a Boy Scout, then going to high school, playing football, and then going to college on a scholarship. He's getting a degree from Rutgers, and then he, went into the corporate world. And he, worked for Fiserv, and then he went down to Warren, a long ways away, and he went to work for Moody's, a great company. And, he had one master's in business administration of internet systems, and then he was pursuing a second one.
And
that's when this happened.
So that's Darren Drake. It splits up, put some three-dimensional form to these victims, and it was, frankly, nice of James Drake to speak to the nation through Fox News in memory of his son, and it's good to learn something about him. He also
sounds like an amazing human being.
He also said he also had something to say about what happened on that bike path, and what we're doing in this country, what we should be doing with respect to people that want to come here.
What do I think about him?
Yeah,
I think that he should serve the rest of his life in solitary. That's exactly the way I feel. Don't let him get communication with anybody. It's these people. They come to the country and they hurt us. I mean, what do they expect? I mean, of course, there's a war going on between America and ISIS and Al Qaeda. Of course, there's a war going on, but I just think that vetting should be a lot more difficult. To allow these people to come into the country, especially a single man. I understand he was married, living in Patterson, but I think that when he came in as as one person. But I'm not sure of that. Matter of fact, we have Syrian neighbors across the street. I love them. I love the lady like my sister. They wouldn't hurt a fly. But you get these, these radicals, and my son is the victim.
Robert in Oak Brook here on Chicago's Morning Answer, if I can work the cursor. Hi, Robert.
First of all, our thoughts and prayers go out to everyone that was injured and killed in New York. My question is, I cannot go to Home Depot right here and rent a truck without two different forms of ID and a legal driver's license. How did he rent a truck, and how was he an Uber driver when he's in the country legally on expired?
No.
Legally.
Yeah, he had a green card. Remember, he got a green card through the diversity lottery.
And he had a driver's license from Tampa, Florida.
Just a backstory. He first lived in Ohio before moving to Tampa. Then he moved to Paterson, New Jersey, where he has lived with his wife and 3 children. He also held business licenses for 2 Ohio-based trucking companies, in addition to working as an Uber driver. So that's the backstory.
Then we got a problem. We have a problem with our immigration.
Well, he came here on that's the question. And
yes,
this morning,
thanks for the call, Robert.
President Trump says, we need swifter justice and we need to end this diversity program.
We also have to come up with punishment that's far quicker and far greater than the punishment these animals are getting right now. And we need strong justice, much quicker and much stronger than we have right now. Because what we have right now is a joke, and it's a laughingstock.
Right. So there's 2 issues that President Trump raised. We talked a little bit about on the show yesterday. One is, rather than trying him in federal court in this country, send him to Gitmo. Mm-hmm. And
hold him as an enemy combatant.
And Trump expressed openness to that idea.
I would certainly consider that, yes. I would certainly consider that. Send him to Gitmo. I would certainly consider that, yes.
And how did the diversity program fit into his plot, do you believe, sir?
Well, they say he came in through that program, so we'll see. We're looking at it, but they say he came in. Look, it's very simple. What we are demanding is merit-based immigration. We want people that are going to help our country. We want people that are going to keep our country safe. We don't want lotteries where the wrong people are in the lotteries. And guess what? Who are the suckers that get those people?
All right, coming up after the news, we'll take your calls. Do you agree with President Trump that we should end the diversity lottery, which accounts for about 55,000 green cards each year?
They take people from countries where there's not a large immigration process. People trying to get into this country so that we're more diverse here in the United States.
Correct. Do you agree with President Trump that that's the policy that should be pursued? 312-642-5600. We'll take your calls.
But first, let's go into the newsroom and check up on the news from here at home and around the world with Dave Stewart, who's in once again for Mike Scott.
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Dan. 47 degrees now in Chicago, 5:30 on AM 560. The Answer. It's cloudy, warmer, and a shower possible today with a high of 52. The suspect in the deadly attack in New York City is facing federal terror charges. Federal prosecutor June Kim announced it yesterday.
Charges Saipov with 2 counts. First, material support of a terrorist organization, that being ISIS. And second, a federal charge of violence and destruction of a motor vehicle with willful disregard for the safety of human life.
Police say the suspect crashed his truck into a school bus and he drove down a bike path, striking several pedestrians, killing 8. Kim said investigators found thousands of ISIS-related images and dozens of violent ISIS videos on the suspect's cell phone. Mayor Emanuel says City of Chicago is not under any terrorist threat, but he says the city will learn what it can from the New York attack.
The terrorist act was an attempt to intimidate people from not going about their daily lives. And no terrorist is going to stop and intimidate not only New York people, but Americans and their resilience.
The mayor said the city will modify its training as necessary. House Republicans expected to release their tax reform bill today. Democrats say it's a GOP effort to give big tax cuts to the wealthy. President Trump insists the tax cuts will be aimed at the middle class. A hearing in the conspiracy case against former Trump campaign manager Paul Manafort goes before a federal judge today in Washington. Manafort's been on house arrest since pleading not guilty to a 12-count indictment Monday. The woman looking to challenge Bruce Rauner on the Republican ticket for governor is having to start over. State Representative Jeannie Ives yesterday said a paperwork error, a couple of transposed numbers, forces her to get all new signatures in her bid for office. An Illinois state senator says there are actually more than 24 sexual harassment complaints on file at the Illinois Capitol, but there's no one to look at them. Senator Karen McConaughey says she's found 27 complaints, but she says the Senate Inspector General's post has been unfilled for months. In sports, Astros over the Dodgers 5-1 in Game 7 to win the World Series as their first title in franchise history. In the NBA, Miami over the Bulls 97-91. In hockey, the Blackhawks blanked the Flyers 3-0. News the service of TrueCar. With TrueCar, you can see what the others have paid for the car that you want, so you can recognize a great deal. TrueCar users save, on average, more than $3,000 off the MSRP. So for new or used cars, visit TrueCar for a more confident car buying experience. AM 560 News Time, 5:33. We'll check traffic in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Mike Gallagher believes there are some issues we should all agree on.
Am I wrong to react to the Harvey Weinstein scandal by observing that not everything has to be left versus right? There is this paradigm now where everything that occurs becomes left versus right.
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Right now with Galaxy. Buy one cabinet, get one free. Visit us online at GalaxyHome.com to schedule your free in-home estimate. Save an additional $500 when you book right now.
Warren Buffett's mentor, Benjamin Graham, said, "The essence of investment management is the management of risk, not returns." Hi, this is Joe Lopresti, president of Arlington Capital Management. I'm here to explain how we help manage our clients' exposure to risk. We're the creators of our proprietary proactive asset allocation strategy, known as PAS. It is designed to analyze important market trends and alert us to potential changes in the market. But that's only part of what I believe makes Arlington Capital Management unique. It's the care and personalized service we provide our clients that really defines us. We understand how important your financial goals are to you and your family, and we never take that responsibility lightly. It all starts by understanding the things that are most important to you. It's part of the Arlington Capital Management difference. To experience it for yourself, schedule your complimentary consultation by calling 855-471-5796. That's 855-471-5796, or visit arlington-capital.com.
At 5:34 from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, David. Right now, the Edens Expressway is delay-free. So is the Kennedy. Express lanes are open inbound. Eisenhower has heavy traffic inbound. 25th Harlem, 32 minutes, 390 to the Burn Circle. Outbound fine at 29. Inbound Stevens, a little congested now. Cicero and Kedzie, about a 1-minute delay there. And on Ryan tight, Stevenson to the Circle. 18 minutes, 95th to downtown. Outbound 15. Crash from the ramp to the outbound Stevenson is cleared out of the way. I-57, 25 minutes. I-80 to the verge. Bishopford, 29. Delays start at 115th. Tollways are good. Northwest Indiana, all clear. Traffic service of LBJ the movie. This Friday, don't miss director Rob Reiner's new film, LBJ, starring Academy Award nominee Woody Harrelson as the bombastic 36th President of the United States. It is Friday in theaters everywhere, rated R. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560. The Answer.
More of Chicago's Morning Answer next, but now the forecast. Mostly cloudy and warmer today, a brief shower or two. Some fog this morning and a high of 54. Shower this evening, otherwise mostly cloudy, low 39. Tomorrow looks cloudy to partly sunny with a high of 50. Right now it's 47 degrees at O'Hare. Next news, 6 o'clock. Get continuous coverage of the latest news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Now more of Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Secure Retirement Radio with host Raj Shah. Sunday mornings at 7 on AM 560, The Answer.
If you're talking about it, I'll be talking about it. Dennis Prager here. Join me this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Morning, Dan and Amy. So picking up on what President Trump had to say yesterday about the diversity lottery, the program through which the Uzbekistan national who entered this country and in 2010 and is the responsible party for that terrorist attack in Manhattan. That's how he got here. Should that be eliminated? Again, just a little background. Each year, 50,000 visas awarded at random to immigrants from countries whose admissions totaled fewer than 50,000 over the preceding 5 years. The lottery winners, like this Uzbekistan Islamist terrorist, make up less than 5% of the total legal immigration.
Gosh, it's 50,000 sounds like a lot, and that surprises me.
Applicants must have graduated from high school or have at least 2 years of formal training in an occupation. Initially, most of these visas went to European countries, but African countries have been soaking up most of them of late, just based on the numbers and the qualifications that must be met. So that's just the background on the diversity program. And President Trump, again, talking about this at a cabinet meeting yesterday and terminating that diversity program.
I am today starting the process of terminating the diversity lottery program. I'm going to ask Congress to immediately initiate work to get rid of this program. Diversity and diversity lottery. Diversity lottery sounds nice. It's not nice. It's not good. It's not good. It hasn't been good. We've been against it.
312-642-5600 turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA turnkey.pro text line. Do you agree with the president about the diversity lottery program?
I'm finding out more about it, and I thought $50,000 was a lot of people we let in, but that's nothing compared to the thousands of people we let in throughout the year. But Chuck Schumer, he sponsored the bill back in 1990, but then trying to mend it in a bipartisan bill to scrap it back in 2013. So we have to properly vet in order for them to come here, and then keep them. But the thing is, we need to check up on the people that win the diversity lottery. We need every year. That's what I think we need, somebody to check up on and make sure that they're working, make sure that they're, they still have good intentions, that they're not. I mean, this guy clearly wasn't grateful to be here because he was here to kill us. And that's the thanks we get for having open borders sometimes and for allowing other people in the name of diversity. I think we're diverse enough as it is, don't you?
Diversity doesn't need a steward. It happens naturally. I'm pro-legal immigration. but I'm not for mindlessly allowing people into this country without any idea what they intend to do. However, just with respect to the diversity lottery program, the Wall Street Journal opines on the topic. Reducing immigration or improving background checks wouldn't have prevented the New York attack or many of the other 24 or so Islamist-motivated attacks since 9/11. The Tsarnaev brothers, who bombed the Boston Marathon, immigrated as kids from Kyrgyzstan after their parents received political asylum. The security guard who shot up the nightclub in Orlando was American-born. So was the San Bernardino shooter, though his wife and collaborator was a legal immigrant. So it's and nobody's arguing that eliminating the program eliminates the threat. The question is this sensible immigration policy? I think I'm sort of where the Journal is. Well, if you wanted to trade out the diversity numbers for a guest worker program, more guest worker visas, for example, people that you can vet and that are coming here by definition to work because they're connected to an employer here, then that's something that I'm open-minded about. But the people who just want to eliminate this program for the purposes of reducing legal immigration for the overall goal of eliminating, kind of zeroing out legal immigration, well, I'm not on board with that.
And there's some lawmakers who are suggesting, we'll just take it from 50,000 to 25,000 a year, that's going to make it all better.
Well, here's the thing about 50,000, 25,000. How do they know? How do they know what the magic number is? They use these round numbers. They don't know. These caps that are set, if you don't believe that Congress has the infinite wisdom to set wages, to set a minimum wage, for example, then why would you believe that they know it should be 25 instead of 10, instead of 40, instead of 50, instead of 150,000? These caps are arbitrary. I don't like arbitrary laws made by people who pretend to have secret knowledge that they don't. So, kind of the magic number is just that. It's magic. It's fiction. I'm more focused on the protocols, the security protocols, than the number. If we had, 51,000 nuclear physicists and, other hard science experts that wanted to come into this country to improve the energy component of our economy that could contribute much to our quality of life, are we going to hew to an arbitrary number that Congress set? We shouldn't.
I know somebody who's here on a diversity that won the lotto, who's here. She's a microbiologist trying to find a cure for cancer.
Well, so if that was 50,000 plus one, if she was 50,001, should we say, sorry, 50,000? That's the magic. It's silly. Mm-hmm. It's silly. It's not substantive. The substantive protocols and then the case-by-case basis processing through those protocols. That seems to me a more sensible way to do it. But that's just me.
President Trump tweeting about 7 hours ago, New York City terrorist was happy as he asked to hang ISIS flag in his hospital room. He killed 8 people, badly injured 12, in all capitals, should get death penalty. But what he's been charged with, he's eligible for the death penalty, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, terrorism-related charges. Even though New York State doesn't have the death penalty, the terrorism charges supersede. It's a federal case. Or he goes to,
where?
He goes to Gitmo, and he's an enemy combatant, and that's a whole different kettle of fish. The question, though, in talking about immigration policy, are we doing what the left does? Are we politicizing an event? The left rushes to talk about gun control in the wake of the Vegas shooting, right? The Vegas massacre. If we rush to talk about immigration policy, are we politicizing the event, and is that appropriate? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro. Answer line, 646-36DA, turnkey.pro. Text line. I like David French's take on this in National Review Online. I'm just cynical enough to believe that the vast majority of politicians, pundits, and Twitter warriors who demand that we not politicize a tragedy are really begging, don't make me talk about my political opinion in an unfavorable environment. Let's wait until the news cycle passes and the public moves on. I think he's largely right about that. And he argues that perhaps moments when the public is energized and interested are among the best times for politicians and ordinary folks to make political arguments. Do it tactfully, respect the fallen, but make your case. And he uses the example of Mo Brooks after the shooting on the softball field in Virginia, the congressman from Alabama, when he was asked about guns in America after all those members of Congress were shot. And, Brooks gave a dissertation on the Second Amendment and his view of the Second Amendment, and that his view of the Second Amendment hadn't changed just because of what happened on that softball field. So that was a thoughtful, responsible answer to the question that was asked, and why not ask that question and have it answered in that way, in that moment when people are focused on discussing issues like guns in America. And the same thing here, when you have a terrorist attack in Manhattan or anywhere else, and immigration policy is relevant, as it is in this case, why not discuss it? I don't think that's politicizing it. It's trying to have a conversation about an important issue during a period where people are focused on it, as opposed to trying to get people interested in it when there's otherwise no kind of immediacy to the issue. So I kind of agree with French here. And so, you want to take on the NRA after the Las Vegas shooting, as these Dem politicians did. Okay, fine, let's talk about it. You want to talk about guns? Let's talk about guns. No problem. Scott on the West Side, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, Dan and Amy, thanks for taking my call. Once again, the left are the ones that are politicizing it. But even if we are politicizing it, so what? It's such a small amount of people that will be affected by this program elimination. Let's just eliminate it and get rid of it. Who cares? I don't care. It means nothing to get rid of it.
All right. Thanks for the call, Scott. Bill in McHenry.
Morning, folks. Looking forward to seeing both of you at the 560 event on November 11th.
Oh, yes.
Very quickly, if you take this out and we have a civil discourse about it, I think you could argue almost that these diversity visas are somewhat racist, because didn't we have a Supreme Court decision in the late 70s about quotas with college admissions, that quota systems were inherently reverse discrimination? I mean, you could take this out there and really stretch it and say the whole purpose of immigration is to bring people into the country who will enhance the country, not degrade it.
Thanks, Bill. Craig in Mount Greenwood.
Yeah, hey, Dan. This would be the same idea if you wanted to take it, instead of just having everybody that wants a gun have to go through background check and all kinds of proper things that are right and rightfully so. Why would you take and have a lottery for giving out guns? You're just going to take and have people take and apply for a lottery, and if you win the lottery, hey, you get to get the guns. It's the same thing. These Democrats, they don't think about anything. All they want to do is come up with all kinds of little schemes to let people come in here without a proper system. They need to get rid of that goofy system.
All right, thanks for the call. Thank you for the call, Craig.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Coming up later, look what was in Bin Laden's VHS movie stash. Says a lot about the man. But first, let's get the forecast. Areas of drizzle, rain, on and off throughout the day. Areas of fog before noon as well. It's going to be humid, though, a high near 54 degrees. Tomorrow, partly sunny with a high near 49. Just a pretty nice day. Now let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy and Dan. Willow Springs had a crash on LaGrange Road right near Archer Avenue. Car hit the wall. Edens is fine. Kennedy and Bath, a little slow from the River Road toll to Canfield. 21 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. Outbound still fine at 20. You've got Eisenhower delays from Manheim to Des Plaines out. A 6 or 7 minute delay there. Outbound still okay. Down Stevenson, it's about a 4 minute delay from before Cicero to Kedzie. On Ryan, a 4 minute delay from the Stevenson into the Circle. Heavier on I-57, 25 minutes, I-80 to the merge. Bishop, 432, really bottled up, 130th to the merge. Tollways are fine. Northwest Indiana looks good. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
An important message from Medicare.
It's Medicare open enrollment now through December 7th.
Time to go online and look at all your Medicare plan choices.
Like prescription drug plans and Medicare Advantage plans from private insurers.
Look for lower costs, more benefits. I'm open to that.
Every year, plans change. So can your health needs.
Open to something better? Start today. Use the tools at Medicare.gov.
Or call 1-800-MEDICARE.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
The IRS doesn't mess around. They can take your paycheck and bank accounts too, even threaten your home or business. If you owe back taxes, call Optima Tax Relief. Optima has access to a special IRS program called the Fresh Start Initiative, and their clients that qualify are saving thousands, even tens of thousands. Optima is A-rated with the Better Business Bureau. Don't delay. Call now for your free consultation.
Call 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188.
Optima Tax Relief.
Gentlemen, it's No Shave Movember, so while you're trying to do your best Justin Turner impersonation, it's time to change the face of your health for the better. Take the first step and get your levels checked by someone you can trust. I personally recommend my friends at Low T Center. That's where I got my levels tested. Their service was fantastic. Their physicians exclusively diagnose and treat men for low testosterone levels. At Low T Center, they know we hate going to the doctor, which is why they make it quick and easy. With their on-site lab, you'll get your results back in about 20 minutes, and most health insurance is accepted. This Movember, Low T Center is offering a testosterone and prostate level test with an assessment for just $50. Guys, take the first step. Contact my friends at Low T Center, now with a location in downtown Chicago on the Mag Mile at 625 North Michigan Avenue. Call 312-239-3427. Tell them Dan Prof sent you. That's 312-239-3427. Call 312-239-3427 now, or go to lowtcenter.com.
If you have pain, listen up. Dennis Prager here. You don't need to live in pain. Let me repeat that. You don't have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, whether it's from an accident or pain that just develops. So, Chicagoland, you're in luck. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the nation's most respected and successful pain doctors. He's been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Bottom line, he's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off pain medication and all of its side effects. How? By finding the source of your chronic pain and fixing it.
This is Ken Candido of Chicago Anesthesia Pain Specialists. Let's make you pain-free.
Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain, and you can be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info you need at mypainchicago.com.
The same banking team you already know and trust at the private bank has come together with one of the strongest banks in North America. And we have a new name. The private bank is now CIBC. We share the same focus on building strong client relationships, and we're now backed by a bank with over 150 years of experience in putting clients first. Our name may have changed, but our commitment to helping your business grow is now stronger than ever. Visit us at CIBC.com/US. Member FDIC.
Protecting data in today's complex business infrastructures presents challenges that traditional backup solutions can't handle. At best, you'll waste time and money managing multiple solutions. At worst, gaps in coverage will leave your data vulnerable. Barracuda Backup is a single cloud-integrated solution that lets you easily back up data wherever it resides and replicate it to another location on your network or private cloud, the Barracuda Cloud, or to the AWS public cloud. Reclaim your data. Try Barracuda Backup free at barracuda.com/backup.
Hey guys, Ken here from the hit podcast Today's Growth. Who would win a 3-mile bicycle race, an 11-year-old girl or last year's winner of the Tour de France? It all depends on the bicycle. It depends on their vehicle. Both on a 10-speed and the pro racer is going to win every time. But put the racer on a tricycle and the 11-year-old wins every time. You see, it's not the driver, it's the vehicle. When it comes to generating revenue, it's exactly the same. If you have a job or a small business, you are riding a tricycle. You can only go so fast. If you need to make up lost ground, it's not going to happen on a tricycle. No matter how fast you pedal, it's simply not going to win the race. Why do many people with no schooling and no advanced degree often become very wealthy? Simple. They choose to only ride 10 speeds. When it comes to helping people create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss when it comes to putting people on a 10-speed. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
Hey, you've heard how Automated Systems excels at assisting companies with systems integration and FDA compliance, but they're also a staffing leader. They supply handpicked elite leadership, subject matter experts, and proven technical professionals in engineering, quality control, and FDA compliance to support the life sciences field in executing mission-critical projects. ASI provides highly specialized pros to deliver projects on time and budget. Don't pay a lot more to a big consulting firm, and don't trust the big temp agencies to supply the talent you need. Call Laz, my friend Laz at Automated Systems, when failure isn't an option. ASI is retained by all of Chicagoland's Fortune 500 life sciences companies, from big pharma to startups, and excel through a culture of excellence in execution. For a staffing, compliance, or automation evaluation, call Laz now at Automated Systems at 844-HIRE-ASI or visit AutomatedSYS.com. That's 844-HIRE-ASI or AutomatedSYS.com.
Hi, I'm Todd Pals, owner of Homewood Bat Company, a top-quality baseball bat made right here in the Chicagoland area. Homewood Bat Company is all about using the best in materials and craftsmanship to create a truly remarkable baseball bat. I've been a client of Precision Payroll for a number of years, and when I started the Homewood Bat Company, I wanted them on my team. From working with me when I had 1,200 employees at another company, and now with less than 50, their service has been exceptional and their value is unrivaled. You want more runs in the game? Give Homewood Bat Company a look. You need a home run for your business? Precision Payroll should be the next call you make.
Thank you, Todd. It is so cool to see you make Americana. Precision Payroll would like to go to bat for you. Call me at 630-242-1507. That's 630-242-1507. Or on the web at precisionpayroll.com.
Sean Hannity explains how Trump is getting business done.
He's not just sitting around doing nothing, and he's literally systematically just striking down one Obama policy after another and chipping away at all the damage that Obama did. And if he can't get Congress, the House and Senate to get along, then all right, well, then he's going to do everything he can do on his own.
The Sean Hannity Show. Afternoons at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
AM 560 News Time, 5:57 from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, David. Kennedy inbound heavy from the River Hotel to Canfield and Austin to Central. 22 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. Outbound still okay at 20. Edens is fine. About Eisenhower, it's still Manheim to Des Plaines Avenue. 36 minutes from 390 to downtown. Outbound 30. Inbound Stevenson delays Harlem to Kedzie and Ashland to the Ryan. 41 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 35, a little slow approaching the Tri-State. Ryan, 19 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 25 minutes. I-80 to the merge. Bishop, 432. Delay start at 130th. Eastbound Adams Tollway stop and go for the Tri-State to Kennedy. Traffic, service of TheraWorks Relief. To relieve muscle cramps in your legs and feet, use TheraWorks Relief. This fast-acting foam is clinically proven to relieve leg and foot cramps. TheraWorks Relief can even prevent muscle cramps. Get TheraWorks Relief today at CVS Pharmacy or TheraWorksRelief.com. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
And now your forecast with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Today mostly cloudy with a brief shower or two, high 55. A shower in a few places during the evening. Otherwise, mostly cloudy tonight, low 38. Tomorrow, cloudy to partly sunny, high 49. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
It's 48 at the lakefront at Midway, 47 degrees at O'Hare. AM 560 News Time, 5:59. In the news, Mayor Emanuel says the city of Chicago is not under any terrorist threat, but he says the city will learn what it can from the New York attack. The mayor says the city will modify its training as necessary. The inaugural Obama Foundation Summit in Chicago is in the books. The former president spoke yesterday during the summit, which aims to inspire a new generation of leaders.
If nothing else, I want you to take away from this summit that sense that you are right there, ready and able to transform the world.
Other high-profile names addressed those in attendance, including the former First Lady Michelle Obama, the rapper Common, and playwright and actor Lin-Manuel Miranda. Union workers are blasting Mayor Emanuel and Governor Rauner for offering billions to lure Amazon to Chicago instead of providing child care for all city families. The Service Employees Union held a rally yesterday at City Hall. In sports, Astros over the Dodgers 5-1 in Game 7 to win the World Series. And the NBA, Miami over the Bulls 97-91. The Blackhawks blanked the Flyers 3-0. The news is service of LifeLock. A recent data breach may have compromised the identities of millions of people. Freezing your credit may not be enough. Identity theft goes beyond credit fraud, like selling your info on the dark web. So help to protect your identity. Go to LifeLock.com and use the promo code RISK to save 10%. Fox News is next. You're listening to WIND Chicago. It's 59 degrees.
He wants an ISIS flag in his hospital room. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The New York City terror suspect also told investigators he felt good about Tuesday's attack.
He should serve the rest of his life in solitary. That's exactly the way I feel. Don't let him get communication with anybody.
James Drake's son Darren was one of the 8 people killed by the truck driven down a bike path. President Trump tweeted Sayfullo Saipov should get the death penalty.
A man consumed by hate and a twisted ideology.
Acting U.S. Attorney June Kim says Saipov admitted to being inspired by thousands of ISIS pictures and videos on his phone.
He also admitted that he had rented a truck on October 22nd to practice the turns he would make.
Saipov was in a wheelchair, handcuffed and shackled when charged last night with supporting terror committing violence leading to death. Chaos inside a Walmart in Colorado last night. A gunman walked in and started shooting. Fox's Tanya J. Powers has details live.
Dave, 2 men and 1 woman are dead, and the person responsible for it still on the run. Now, this happened in Thornton. That's about 10 miles north of Denver. Ray Martinez is the uncle of one of the victims who was there shopping with his family.
I guess the shooter came in and just started shooting. Shot my nephew in the head, I guess.
Police say it appears random. They don't believe it was an act of terror. Investigators are reviewing security video, and they're talking to witnesses, Dave.
Tanya, Republicans in Congress expected today to unveil their tax reform plan. President Trump says it'll be historic with tax cuts for the middle class. Democrats have said that most of the cuts would go to the wealthy and big corporations. Houston can finally celebrate.
Y'all finally got the monkey off the back. Here we go again. We'll see you next year. We're the best team in the world.
The Astros won the World Series for the first time, beating the LA Dodgers 5-1 in Game 7.
We'll wait for the parade and enjoy it and celebrate like Houston does. H-Town.
That parade will be tomorrow. This is Fox News. Fair and balanced.
On AM 560, The Answer. Your opinion counts. And we want to know how you feel about the news stories we're talking about each and every day. Make sure to vote in the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll at 560theanswer.com. Listen for today's poll question at 10:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. and hear the results each evening at 5:30. It's the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll on 560theanswer.com.
I'm Jay Farner from Quicken Loans. The rate today on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.875%, APR 4.05%. But choosing the right mortgage lender involves so much more than just a rate. Only Quicken Loans has earned 11 J.D. Power Awards. No other lender comes close to that level of client satisfaction. And we invented Rocket Mortgage. It gives our clients a simpler, hassle-free way to get a mortgage completely online in minutes. No one else has anything like it. And our people. Each one of our 17,000-plus team members throughout Detroit, Cleveland, and Phoenix provides absolute client satisfaction each and every day. So why would you go anywhere else to get your mortgage? Go to America's #1 online lender. Call Quicken Loans today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com for the best mortgage experience on earth. That's 800-QUICKEN.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org number 3030.
Build business with Chamber 630, one of the largest business organizations in DuPage County. Marketing your business and connecting clients is their priority. Visit chamber630.com or call 630-968-4050 to join today.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. The list of Hollywood A-listers that we need to understand as louts and predators continues to grow, and the list is just starting to build in the Illinois General Assembly, Illinois politicians. But Kevin Spacey This will be interesting to see how long it is before he becomes a bit of a pariah in Hollywood. I went up to order a drink, and Kevin came up to me, and he put his arm around me. He was telling me to come with him to leave the bar. He put his hand on my crotch, forcefully grabbed my whole package.
Wow.
That's friendly.
That's
That's filmmaker and director Tony Montana talking about Spacey in an encounter they had in 2003. I put my hand down, turned his thumb back to get his hand off me. I paid for my drink and got away from him. I backed him out the door and I pushed him. One of his friends was in line, and I said, "It's time to take your boy home." They all ended up leaving. Montana was in his 30s at the time, never saw Spacey again. Never talked to anyone about it except for therapists. I had PTSD for 6 months after. It was an emasculating thing for someone to do to me. Whenever I went to the bar, I would see if he was there or have my back against the wall. Okay, so this is following up on the Anthony Rapp accusations about Kevin Spacey sexually assaulting him when he was 14 years old. And then there's this, Roberto Cavazos, who acted in several plays at London's Old Vic Theatre when Spacey was artistic director there from 2004 to 2015, said the Hollywood star routinely preyed on young male actors. It seems the only requirement was to be a male under the age of 30 for Mr. Spacey to feel free to touch us.
And that some, he said, would, just give in because he was so powerful. And he said that there's a lot of us who have a Kevin Spacey story to tell.
Well, it started with a couple, a handful of women that were identified in that Ronan Farrow story about the human stain, Harvey Weinstein. And now the number's up to 80. I mean, these are, old men, right, in their 60s. And if they've been doing this, I mean, they've been stars or powerful people for a long time, and they've been doing it for a long time. I suspect the numbers will mount against Kevin Spacey, and we'll see.
Oh, it's going to get ugly.
No matter how brilliant an actor he is and how many movies we've all enjoyed his performance, where we've all enjoyed his performances, but you can't look at him the same way on the screen, can you?
No, you can't. And I don't even want to watch House of Cards, which, by the way, they've suspended and might not even release a season 6, but they're doing it so that Kevin Spacey can get the help he needs. And through a spokesperson late last night, they said that he was going to go into therapy.
For what?
To examine his behavior and to examine the fact that he came out that, now I'm gay, which has been a secret for a long time. I mean, not an unspoken secret in Hollywood for a long time. Everybody knows he's bisexual and now he's gay. And he tried to use that as a cover-up for being a pedophile.
I've chosen to live my life as a gay man, he said. I've chosen to live my life as a gay man.
You always knew there was something creepy about him.
So,
not that being gay is creepy, but there's something about him that's different, and maybe that's what makes him a brilliant actor. But he's not. He's a little off.
I'd say more than a little. And so now we know that, this has got to come as a shock to many in Hollywood, I'm sure. Just attacking the NRA or Trump or declaring that you're a gay American, it's not going to get you out of this. Brett Ratner is also powerful director, Rush Hour, X-Men, The Revenant, Horrible Bosses.
Yeah, he's a big name.
Brett Ratner has departed his position at Warner Brothers after a half a dozen women have accused him of sexual harassment or misconduct, starring with Natasha Henstridge, who said when she was a 19-year-old model and she was at Ratner's place, he strong-armed me in a real way. He physically forced himself on me. At some point, I gave in and did his thing. She essentially accused him of not being, not allowing her to leave his place until she performed. He denies through a spokesman, "I've represented Mr. Ratner for 2 decades, and no woman has ever made a claim against him for sexual misconduct or harassment. Furthermore, no woman has ever requested or received any financial settlement from my client." Olivia Munn, though, another now very famous actress, said the same thing. I've made specific conscientious choices not to work with Brett Ratner. She said that he masturbated in front of her in his trailer when she went to deliver a meal on the 2004, when he was directing the movie in 2004, After the Sunset, and she was still an aspiring actress. What is with these guys?
Oh, it's Dustin Hoffman. I mean,
Yes.
listen to this story. A woman has come forward saying that he harassed her when she was 17 years old, working as an intern on one of his projects. Her name is Anna Graham Hunter. She's 49 now, but she said when she was 17, she was a production assistant on Death of a Salesman. She said he asked me to give him a foot massage my first day on set. He was openly flirtatious. He grabbed my butt. He talked about sex to me and in front of me. One morning, listen to this, I went to his dressing room to take his breakfast order. He looked at me and grinned. Taking his time, he said, "I'll have a hard-boiled egg and a soft-boiled," I don't know if I can say
Lady
this word.
part.
Lady part. His entourage burst out laughing. She said she left speechless. Then she went into the bathroom and cried. He's issued apologies. Are you ready for this? I have the utmost respect for women and feel terrible that anything I might have done could have put her in an uncomfortable situation. I am sorry. It is not reflective of who I am. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Who are you? But, I mean, it's a toxic atmosphere. I did the movie U.S. Marshals.
Well, hold on a second. Anything I might have done
Yeah.
could have put her in an uncomfortable. This is not an apology. This is it's a cover statement like they're all issuing. And when you issue cover statements, to me, that's the benefit should be on the accuser, because Ratner is saying that none of this ever happened. Okay, well, I don't know. But these kind of middling statements that have come out from Spacey and Hoffman and Weinstein, Toback even, I don't find them particularly credible.
Yeah, it's.
So you were saying about U.S. Marshals?
Oh, yeah. And they said Wesley Snipes and Tommy Lee Jones were disgusting. There was a young girl that was there, and Wesley Snipes like, "I don't know, man, I don't know." And, her age, if he could be with her, because we were together for 7 hours or 8 hours. So, people were walking by on the streets of New York. And Tommy Lee Jones said, "Man, if she's old enough to bleed, she's old enough to need." And I thought, you guys are disgusting.
And Tommy
I mean,
Lee Jones
zero
was
respect for women.
He was like 85 years old at the time. Do we have that Amy Jacobson clip from U.S. Marshals?
Deputy, do you have anything to add?
No.
I mean, one of the great moments in cinematic history. It's incredible.
So there was
that only took 7 hours to knock that out.
The whole
Wow.
final scene of the movie took 7 hours. It was
I mean, that is
laborious. I mean, it was just really difficult working in those conditions. But they all have their own
It's
trailers. And
gripping.
they all do, because there's a lot of time in between shoots, because you shoot the same thing 12 different ways. And people go to their trailers, and Lord knows what they do in their trailers. But that it's intoxicating. It feeds their egos. It's sick.
Did you ever crack that case in U.S. Marshals? I didn't. I couldn't watch the movie. It was so terrible.
No, the first line was, "Was your client exonerated by this hearing?" And then,
I mean, those
deputies, do you have anything to add?
probing questions. I mean, it's
Hey,
unbelievable.
I couldn't go off script, okay? All right? I stuck to the script. And the energy and the focus
Yeah, but you
is
made-
which I delivered those lines. I mean,
Deputy, do you have anything to add?
I mean, wow.
Really?
You made those words your own.
but the point of the story is that they're bad boys. And they're sick.
Well,
not all, and not
Bad
all
Boys
of them.
is sort of soft pedaling it,
Not
isn't
all
it?
of them. Well, some are predators.
Well,
some are just, I don't know if they're trying to be cute and show off in front of other people on set, but it's just disgusting behavior.
The incident that this individual that has written this op-ed in the Hollywood Reporter about Dustin Hoffman, if you will, or her account, I should say, maybe that's a better description. This apparently is from diary entries from back in 1985. So this is why she sort of has perfect recall, and she's got a lot of quotations around things that she alleges Dustin Hoffman said.
One entry, she's like, "Today I was walking Dustin to his limo. He felt my blank 4 times. I hit him each time hard and told him he was a dirty old man. He took off his hat and pointed to his head, which was shaved to the part, and said, 'No, I'm a dirty young man, and I have a full head of hair.'"
Now, remember, she's a 17-year-old girl, and so she's a bit starstruck by hanging out with Dustin Hoffman and John Malkovich, who she said she fell in love with more every day, and Warren Beatty. I mean, all these people that were involved in this TV iteration of Death of a Salesman. And so her diary entries are interesting. They strike me as fairly honest because they're conflicted. So, for example, she writes, this is February 20th, 1985, no one is 100% good or bad. Dustin's a pig, but I like him a lot. You know, so, which is, you know, when you meet a famous person that you've looked up to, you want to think that they're good and you kind of give them latitude and you want to, well, it's not great, but, you know, he's just a human being. And so it's interesting to read these entries because you see her kind of trying to process the Dustin Hoffman she envisioned versus the Dustin Hoffman she encountered.
Right. But she ended by saying, you know, he was a predator, I was a child, and this was sexual harassment. As to how it fits into my own pattern, I imagine I'll be figuring that out for years to come.
All right. Well, coming up, let's take this from celebrities to show business for ugly people. And I do mean ugly people because we're talking about Illinois politicians. Not just one complaint that left unresponded to for a year. More than 24, we find out now. Turns out the Illinois General Assembly doesn't do any better job accounting for complaints against its members than it does how it spends your money. That's coming up.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Forecast for today, it's going to be a damp one. We're going to drizzle with a chance of rain before 4 p.m., then solid rain likely after that. It will be okay, a high of 54 degrees, so a little humidity accompanied with that. Tomorrow, Friday, partly sunny skies, no rain, and a high near 50. Let's get into our alarm detection systems. Traffic Center, here is Jim Telemonte.
Hey, we got a big jam on the inbound Bishop Ford Freeway from 159th to Dalton Avenue, where a crash blocks 2 left lanes. It's already heavy farther north from 115th to the Verge. We're looking at 42 minutes from 8094 to Ryan. I-57 is one alternate, 28 minutes from I-80 to the Verge, or you could consider Torrance Avenue. Eden's still looking okay. Kennedy inbound with scattered delays. It's about 25 minutes O'Hare to downtown, and that just numbers just going up now. We got a crash at Nagel in the left lane, so change that number. 35 minutes O'Hare to downtown. Outbound 22. The Eisenhower 47 minutes, 390 to the Circle. Outbound 32 minutes. Stevenson 48 minutes, 355 to the Drive. Ryan 23 minutes, 95th to downtown. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Gentlemen, it's No Shave Movember. Time to change the face of your health for the better. Take the first step and get your levels checked by someone you can trust. I personally recommend my friends at Low T Center. That's where I got my levels tested. Their service was fantastic. Their physicians exclusively diagnose and treat men for low testosterone levels. At Low T Center, they know we hate going to the doctor. That's why they make it quick and easy. With their on-site lab, you will get your results back in about 20 minutes, and most health insurance is accepted. This Movember, Low T Center is offering a testosterone and prostate level test with an assessment for just $50. Guys, take the first step. Contact my friends at Low T Center, now with a location in downtown Chicago on the Mag Mile at 625 North Michigan Avenue. Call 312-239-3427. Tell them Dan Prof sent you. That's me. The number 312-239-3427. Call now, 312-239-3427, or visit them online at lowtcenter.com. That website, lowtcenter.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I have been on these supplements from Balance of Nature for a couple of years now. And prior to that, I used other supplements. They did nothing for me. This has been absolutely wonderful. I have never felt so good, and I have felt so much better health-wise. My cholesterol's down. All my numbers are down, and it's been great. So I highly recommend Balance of Nature.
What are you waiting for? Good health is only a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Call 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code Chicago. That's promo code Chicago. Balance of Nature. Order today.
AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So yesterday, some developments in the state capitol on this matter of the culture of sexual harassment inside that den of iniquity. We talked about the complaint that was filed against State Senator Ira Silverstein, Democrat from the near north, Skokie, Lincolnwood area.
And his wife is an alderman for the 50th Ward.
In Chicago, right. And that it had been unaddressed for a year by the Legislative Inspector General's office, to which the complaint was referred, because there is no Legislative Inspector General. Because
So why would they make up? Because it just sounds good and no one's going to check up on that? Really? That's what they're thinking?
Here's
They're
what
gonna
I would
put wool
suggest.
over our eyes again?
Here's what I would suggest. There's no Legislative Inspector General because the two parties can't agree on one, because what's really at play here, is you have the typical non-aggression pact between the two parties. Don't appoint a Legislative Inspector General. I've got members that could be vulnerable to review. You've got members that could be vulnerable to review. So let's just send those complaints to an empty room
Is that where they went?
while we're appropriating funds for the office.
Well, here's one alleged victim. She came forward. She's actually a women's rights advocate, and she let her feelings be known and told the truth about what she endured with Mr. Silverstein.
What I dealt with Silverstein, I ended up 6 weeks in a crisis. I lost 20 pounds. My hair fell out. I was so scared that I would have to admit myself into a hospital because I went down to like 109 pounds.
So she was a lobbyist, and she said any bill that she got him to sign, there was an ulterior motive attached to it.
He would have meetings with me because he liked to look at me. He thought I was pretty. He would tell me I'm intoxicating, I'm intimidating, I look like a movie star, always pointing out how I look. He's a married man.
That's Denise Rothheimer. She testified before a legislative committee on the topic, and she named the name. And so will other names be named in Springfield, and should they? The answer is if you have guilty parties, then they should be named. And even if they have to be named anonymously to protect the accusers, I'm okay with that. Now we find out that from State Senator Karen McConney, is a Republican from Kane County.
Yeah.
After repeated inquiries by myself and others, members were assured there were no pending cases before the Ethics Commission. Today I discovered that staff is in reality holding up to 27 separate complaints against members of the Illinois General Assembly, and have used the fact that no Inspector General has been named as the reason there are technically no pending cases, since it only becomes a case when it's reviewed by the Inspector General.
Which
If you don't
there
have
is
an-
no Inspector General.
If you don't have an Inspector General, then you don't have a pending case because it requires an Inspector General to review the case. This is the sleight of hand that your duly elected representatives are really legislative leaders are employing in Springfield. This is a failure of legislative leaders in both parties, but starting with the majority and supermajority party, which is Democrats, House majority, Senate supermajority. Cullerton referred the Senate president, Democrat, Chicago,
My guy.
referred a complaint against one of his members to the Legislative Inspector General's office, where there is no Legislative Inspector General, so that it would disappear. That's the point, that they didn't want to be held accountable. So consider that. Please keep that in mind when you now see them rushing to look serious about something they did not take seriously up until this point. Up until that open letter that was written last week by a couple of female lobbyists, and now the building pressure because Ms. Rothheimer has come forward and named Ira Silverstein, who now has stepped down as majority leader of the Senate Democrat caucus. He hasn't stepped down from the Senate,
right?
But as a member of John Cullerton's leadership team.
But do
they
you
are
think
trying
that
to
will
cover
happen,
their
though?
ass.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing.
Trying to cover their ass. I got it. Do you think that he'll eventually step down from his state Senate seat?
No, why? Why would he?
Because I think he's admitting guilt. I mean, he said, he interpreted what it was differently, but, of course, he respects women. And sorry if I made you feel bad. Sorry, Tootsie. I mean, that's what all these men are saying. I have the everything. Apology starts like this. I have the utmost respect for women, and I'm sorry if I made you feel bad.
Mhm.
So condescending. God, just man up and say, you know what? They're right. I messed up. I'll try to be a better man and a better husband in the future. I'd appreciate that much more than this sing-song dance routine that they're doing.
Yeah, and it's interesting. This should go wherever the facts lead, and who's ever been the bad actor. But boy, oh boy,
yeah.
Silverstein and some of the other names that have been rumored. Boy, a lot of men of the left, a lot of those great champions of women on the left, right, ladies? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line.
64636, type in DA, then a quick comment. I wish we could name names because I know you know a lot of people, and I know a lot of people who have treated people horribly.
Well,
and who have cheated on their wives, and some Republicans too. I mean, look at what Ron Sandak did.
Yeah.
You know, he was, caught in
Your
some
guy.
computer scheme.
Yeah. Yeah.
Talking to someone who we thought was a woman in Eastern Europe.
No, Philippines or something.
Philippines. Yeah.
Whatever. It was the typical lascivious online conduct. And the point, not typical, atypical, was disgusting. He's indefensible, which is why he resigned his seat and tried to do it as quickly as possible. But here's the thing. By the way, Ron Sandak, defended by the GOP establishment, which is as moribund in many respects, at least in the House in particular, under Durkin, as is Madigan and the Democrats. I was supporting primary opponents against Ron Sandak for a couple of cycles while the Republican establishment was rallying around him. Because character doesn't matter, does it? Oh, does it? Does character matter now? Does it matter for all those people that said character doesn't matter? Whatever anybody does in the privacy of their own lives doesn't impact their public responsibilities. You still want to cling to that notion that the two are disconnected? You sure? How about now? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. Teachable moment on the topic, I would say. Now, the flip side on this phony baloney virtue signaling legislation to require sex harassment training for all the members of the General Assembly, state workers stuff. One state rep, Republican from McHenry County, Steve Reich, has weighed in on this, saying, I'm not going to take sex harassment training. Why should I? Let me say I have no doubt that sexual harassment goes on in Springfield. I have no sympathy for it. And if guys want to walk around acting like cavemen with a club, count me out. And he responds to 4 legislators that were on Chicago tonight with Carol Maureen doing their own virtue signaling. All Democrats, of course.
They lost the number for Republicans.
Robin Gable, Chris Welch, Heather Stain, Sarah Feigenholz. Chris Welch. I've been propositioned by a female legislator. Chris Welch talking about how treating women. This guy who was... there's a police report in Hillside about him beating up his ex-girlfriend. And we're going to listen to Chris Welch, this hack Democrat from Proviso Township, lecture us about treating women with respect. This is how sick it is in this state.
I wouldn't even have gone on that show.
So going back to Reich,
yeah,
I said I have no sympathy for those who think they're entitled to act like Boris Klotz. The reason I have no use for it is that I was brought up that way. I had parents who taught me that human nature is imperfectible. It's my job to resist the baser instincts to which we're all subject. But if my colleagues want me to sign on to this, they're certainly not doing it the right way. I'm not saying I'm blameless, but I'm damn sure not going to allow myself to be painted with their broad brush, nor will I subject myself to whatever training is imposed. By implying that I'm part of the problem simply by occupying a seat on the House floor through the accident of birth having been born male, they're giving me every reason to say no. I assume the culture extends beyond Ira Silverstein. If they want my support, then name names. Yeah, I mean, the sexual harassment training. I don't need to be lectured by some, PC consultant that you bring in about keeping your hands to yourself and treating other people, male or female, with respect. So I think he has a point. Don't allow them to get away with virtue signaling when they've been the individuals covering it up all this time. It's the same dynamic that you see in Hollywood. Everybody rushes to wring their hands, including all the enablers, not just those who are rumors. I'm not putting them in the same position, but I'm talking about the enablers or those who engaged in conspiracy to cover it up, like legislative leaders in both parties that never appointed a legislative inspector general. And now they're going to.
That's
fraudulent. And now Madigan and Cullerton are these great.
Me Too hashtag campaign.
Exactly. Come on.
But you know what? It's intoxicating. These are men in power who they've got to keep feeding their ego. They've got to, and they think that they can get away with murder. Oh, that's what they think. They're rock stars.
I understand.
They're big deals in their own minds.
But, since this has become an international story and it's a cultural debate that we're having and a discussion.
Why can't they be held accountable for their actions?
Well, right. Pay attention. They refuse to hold themselves accountable or address a problem when it is presented. They do it only as a last resort when it's discovered and they lose control of the narrative. That's what's happening here with this sexual harassment training legislation. So don't fall for it. Goodness sakes. Same people running the same scams and the same people falling for the same scams. Mike on the north side.
Good morning. Thanks for taking my call. Yeah, Dan, you're right. This is a scam. What they're going to do is they're not going to name names, and if it comes out, the backup plan is someone else is going to file for these spots. And if the person has to step aside, well, nobody else filed, so this guy's going to get it that we picked. There's a county official that slapped his wife around, and a 911 call was there, and there's FOIA requests out, and they're trying to cover it up, the police department and the sheriff's department. And if the guy has to step down, well, lo and behold, some other political hack was the only one to file against him because the public didn't know. And all the connected people in those spots keep their jobs.
Thanks for the call,
but
Mike.
The Democrats keep voting for it.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Mike.
The irony, though, these are Democratic politicians who are supposed to, respect women more than Republicans, and they're lying to us by saying there's an inspector general.
Yeah, well, maybe the premise was wrong. You ever consider that?
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
A young woman with Down syndrome educates the UN at 6:36.
And later, Sex in the Sky lands perfect strangers in jail. We'll explain. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Say good morning once again with Dave Stewart, who's filling in for Mike Scott.
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Dan. 47 degrees in Chicago at 6:32 on AM 560. The Answer. A cloudy day ahead, warmer with a possible shower and a high of 52. The suspect in this week's deadly attack in New York City is facing federal terror charges. Federal prosecutor June Kim announced the charges yesterday. He says the suspect was inspired by ISIS videos.
Saipov allegedly admitted that he was inspired to commit the attack by the ISIS videos he watched and had been planning this attack for 2 months.
Kim said investigators found thousands of ISIS-related images, dozens of violent ISIS videos on the suspect's cell phone. Mayor Emanuel says the city of Chicago is not under any terror threat, but he says the city will learn what it can from the New York attack.
When something happens anywhere in the world as it relates to terrorism, our teams that are dealing with public safety begin immediately to study what do we do, what do we learn, and how do we adapt to that.
The mayor says the city will modify its emergency training as necessary. A hearing in the conspiracy case against former Trump campaign manager Paul Manafort goes before a federal judge in Washington today. Manafort's been on house arrest since pleading not guilty to a 12-count indictment Monday. Facebook, Apple, and Google's parent company are joining more than 100 other tech firms in challenging the president's decision to end the DACA program. Their legal brief says that young immigrants are vital to the U.S. economy and that ending DACA would slow economic growth. A woman is dead after being hit by a car on Chicago's south side. Police say the incident happened last night while the victim was lying in the road near 77th and South Cottage Grove Avenue. Citations are pending against the driver. Former First Lady Michelle Obama has some advice for young folks in social media. She says, don't tweet every idea. Mrs. Obama talked with young people at the Obama Foundation Summit. She said, oftentimes your first thought is not worthy of the light of day. In sports, Astros over the Dodgers 5-1 in Game 7. They win the World Series, their first crown in franchise history. The NBA, Miami over the Bulls 97-91. In hockey, the Blackhawks blanked the Flyers 3-0. The service of Accountemps brings you the news. When you need help closing your books, it's time to call Accountemps. They can provide you with bookkeepers and other accounting and finance professionals on a temporary or a project basis, and fast. So call today. Accountemps, a Robert Half company. AM 560 News Time 6:34. Traffic in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Ready for a bad cold and flu season? A cold is a cold, but flu brings fever. Be prepared with the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer backed by medical professionals everywhere.
My name is David Hochberg, Vice President Lending at Pearl Mortgage. If you're looking to secure financing on a new home or refinance your existing home, give me a call. According to creditcard.com, cardholders in Illinois, Indiana, Wisconsin, and Michigan are carrying over $33,000 of debt on their credit cards. The Federal Reserve recently increased the interest rates 1/4 point, which, according to credit enhancement expert Gary Novell, will increase the average credit card holder's interest payments $825 a year. The good news is home values have rebounded, so now is an excellent time to use your home's equity to eliminate your stress, pay off credit card debt, and lower your monthly payments. To see if you can use your home's equity to pay off your debt, give me a call now at 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. I've helped thousands of AM560 listeners, but I can't help if you don't call 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage, an equal housing lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee 4358 and MLS 19186.
Shoot Point Blank is now open in Naperville, a safe and comfortable shooting range and gun shop. Shoot Point Blank features climate-controlled shooting lanes, retail store, and firearm education classes for all experience levels. Shop top brands including Glock, Ruger, or Smith & Wesson. Experience the Shoot Point Blank difference and see for yourself why so many people are talking about Shoot Point Blank.
Great range, great service, great staff.
Now open at the corner of North Aurora and Frontenac in Naperville. Visit shootpointblank.com for details. Point Blank Range and Gun Shop provides a clean and safe indoor shooting range and retail store. At Point Blank, associates focus on customer needs, whether they're an expert or new to shooting. That's the reason so many people are talking about their Point Blank experience.
Brett was very friendly, and he answered all my questions. And because I'm new to pistols, I'm really grateful he was patient and helped me decide what to buy for my new firearm.
Point Blank Range and Gun Shop. Experience the difference. ShootPointBlank.com for more information.
At 6:36 from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, David. Eastbound Adams Tollway, it's jammed. From the Tri-State onto the Kennedy, the delays continue to Nagel, where a crash just cleared. 35 minutes, O'Hare to downtown once you get to the airport. 13 minutes from Montrose. 10 on the Express. Outbound 29 minutes to O'Hare. Edens, 25 minutes. Lake Cook to the junction. Outbound 21. Eisenhower, 53 minutes from 390 to Burn Circle. Outbound 33. Northbound I-55, got traffic jammed. 126 to be 453 after a crash, and 355 to before to a cast where there is a crash. Then more delays from the Des Plaines River Bridge much of the way to the Ryan. An hour and 8 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, and 48 minutes from the Tri-State. Outbound just a little heavy approaching 294. The Ryan, 23 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 28 minutes, I-80 to the merge Bishop Ford, 44. Crash at Dalton Avenue in the two right lanes. Traffic service, TheraWorks Relief. To relieve muscle cramps in your legs and feet, use TheraWorks Relief. This fast-acting foam is clinically proven to relieve leg and foot cramps. TheraWorks Relief can even prevent muscle cramps. Get TheraWorks Relief today at CVS Pharmacy or TheraWorksRelief.com. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
More of Chicago's Morning Answer next, but now the forecast. For today, mostly cloudy and warmer, maybe a brief shower, some fog this morning, and a high of 54. Tonight, a shower in places, otherwise mostly cloudy, low 39. Tomorrow, partly sunny with a high of 50. Right now, it's 47 degrees at O'Hare. Next news, 7 o'clock. Continuous coverage of the latest news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Now, more of Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 on your mobile device. Now available on iHeartRadio. Online at iHeartRadio.com.
Hey, Joe Walsh here. Come on, House Republicans. Get off your keisters and give us your tax reform plan. Give it up now. We'll talk about it when Freedom returns at 5.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. We played audio from a House subcommittee of House subcommittee testimony from a gentleman with Down syndrome named Frank Stevens earlier in the week, advocating for men and women like him who are, in terms of being afflicted with the same disease, Down syndrome. We have others now rallying to the defense of persons with disabilities, specifically Down syndrome, but generally people with disabilities who, in our society that seems to have a declining interest in preserving and respecting life, need people to rally around them. So in Ohio, the Ohio House yesterday passed a bill that would prohibit abortions on babies with Down syndrome. The response to the kind of widely known reports now about how Iceland and Denmark and China are eliminating children with Down syndrome, or at least that test positive for Down syndrome, and we know that there have been cases of false positives in the Down syndrome test. I mean, no test is 100% reliable.
And do you know about the test? I mean, how they get into the uterine wall? I mean, look at me. The needle, Dan, is about this long. It's a very painful process that some women choose to go through to find out whether they have Down syndrome, spina bifida. There's a whole myriad of things that they're looking for, these geneticists. And some gynecologists encourage you to do it, and others said, it's absolutely your choice.
Well, Frank Stevens told members of Congress, "I'm a man with Down syndrome and my life is worth living." Charlotte Fain told the UN that she's a woman with Down syndrome and her life is worth living.
Good afternoon, my name is Charlotte Helen Bean. I am 21 years old and I have Down syndrome. In the 1930s and 1940s, the Nazis decided to get rid of all disabled people. More than 200,000 disabled people were murdered, including many children with Down syndrome. Today, the same thing is happening. A test that checks for Down syndrome is being used to eradicate all babies with Down syndrome. In Iceland, Denmark, and China, not a single baby with Down syndrome has been born for 7 years. Several years. The goal is to eradicate Down syndrome in future. This makes me angry and very sad. I have Down syndrome. I am not suffering. I am not ill. None of my friends who have Down syndrome are suffering either. We all live happy lives. We go out to the pubs, have dinner parties at my friend Amy's house, have boyfriends, and have plans and goals for the future. We just have an extra chromosome. We are still human beings. We are human beings. We are not monsters. Don't be afraid of us. We are people with different abilities and strengths. Don't feel sorry for me. My life is great.
So the audio difficult, but you heard the gist of it. We're human beings. We have an extra chromosome. We have different challenges and different strengths. We have happy lives. We're not suffering. Not that suffering is the standard for whether a life should be ended or not, but the point that hers is a life worth living, and thus life worth saving. And this is an interesting topic just with respect to disabilities, because, of course, those who preen about being concerned with the truly vulnerable in society, those that need other people to speak up on their behalf, that this is how the left likes to posture itself, as filling that role. Are they filling that role here? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. And by the way, in terms of filling that role on the courts, because you need judges who understand what Charlotte was saying, what Frank Stevens was saying, who understand what the Constitution says and what it doesn't say. Amy Coney Barrett, the Notre Dame law professor who was subjected to the anti-Catholic bigotry of Di-Fi and Saca Durban. Yeah. The dogma lives loudly within her, that one. She was confirmed on to be seated on the 7th Circuit Court of Appeals. Joan Larson, who testified with her, confirmed to a seat on the 6th Circuit Court of Appeals. Trump moving judicial nominations, important nominations for federal district and appellate court judges, in addition to, of course, ultimately the Gorsuch nomination and perhaps other Supreme Court nominations before his term is up. This is really important, and it's an underreported story, and it's an underappreciated story, particularly for never-Trumpers. Amy Barrett, Joan Larson, Neil Gorsuch are not in these important positions of legal interpretation if Hillary Clinton's the president, which is why those, I love him, but the idea of Michael Medved voting for Hillary Clinton or people saying never Trump when the choice was that binary, it's really become less and less defensible the more and more we've seen in terms of substantive actions, regardless of personal and Twitter antics. If you think these issues are important, like protecting the vulnerable, rallying to the defense of people with disabilities, boy, then it's difficult to understate the importance of these judicial appointments, isn't it? Really is. And you also need people to address the issue from a racial perspective. And our friend Star Parker, who's been a longtime advocate for black families in this country, she welfare mom, but comes from a conservative perspective because she's seen the ravages of the welfare state, what the welfare state has done to her community, what it almost did to her and her family. She testified earlier this week before a House subcommittee on the topic of banning abortions after 6 weeks, and got into a little row with a Democrat congressman named Stephen Cohen. Listen to Star Parker's testimony about Planned Parenthood and abortion in the black community.
Abortion is the leading cause of death in the black community today. Since Roe v. Wade was legalized, 20 million humans have been killed inside of the womb of black women. And then on Halloween, Planned Parenthood tweets out that the black women are safest if they abort their child rather than bring it to term. To the gentleman from Texas who brought up Margaret Sanger, the founder of Planned Parenthood, I think that it is important that we put in record that the needs of those that are most vulnerable in society cannot be addressed with abortion. Abortion feeds a narrative that women are victims, that they have no control over their sexual impulses. And as a result of this narrative being forced down into our hardest hit communities, we're seeing now recklessness in sexual activity, and marriage has collapsed. In the 50s, 70% of black adults were married. Today, that number is 30%. This is causing a lot more social pathologies that have to be addressed through different types of legislation, not the heartbeat bill. The heartbeat bill is to protect the innocent.
Black women receive about 35% of total abortions performed in the United States, according to the Centers for Disease Control. Wow. That's 3 times the population of black Americans in this country, 35%. And she's right. That's exactly what Planned Parenthood tweeted out, Star Parker. If you're a black woman in America, it's statistically safer to have an abortion than to carry your pregnancy to term or give birth. So what are they encouraging? So here's Steve Cohen from Tennessee getting all indignant with Star Parker. Think about this exchange you're about to hear, and if this was said by a white Republican to a black female Democrat or liberal, how this would be received, how this would be reported.
And I'd also like to say that I am not disingenuous about anything I say about Medicaid or Medicare or LIHEAP or SNAP programs. And to suggest I'm disingenuous shows your ignorance or your absolute inability to deal with Congress people the way they should. I believe in those issues, and I think they're proper, and to say I'm disingenuous is just wrong, and I expect an apology.
I would ask for an apology from the gentleman from Tennessee calling our witness ignorant when it seems to me she has a whole lot more knowledge and wisdom.
She's ignorant about me.
Yeah.
Everybody is.
I would encourage my colleague from Tennessee to go make love to himself. Tom in Deer Park.
Yeah, good morning. I'm obviously one of those never Trumpers. I did vote third party. But
plain and simple, you have to acknowledge, besides Gorsuch, besides all the judges, and Betsy DeVos, what she's doing for the Department of Education, not only on the Title IX, but to, basically get our education system, which is so screwed up, I think has led to so many of our problems. Fully acknowledge that none of that would have occurred had Hillary been president. So, again, I know what you do on the air, and we appreciate it, Dan. I just want to acknowledge that. Thank you.
Thank you for the call, Tom, and the concession. I appreciate that. Bill in Tinley Park.
Hey, guys. I have a daughter with Aicardi syndrome. It affects only girls. It's extremely rare genetic disorder. We were told to have an abortion. There is no test for Aicardi syndrome. The diagnosis was made after birth, but, we knew that there would potentially be problems beforehand. She's 18 now. We have 4 beautiful children, and she is the center of our family. I have an oldest daughter that's going to be graduating Lewis University next month to become a nurse. I have a 20-year-old son that will be entering college to become a police officer, and I've got a 15-year-old who, just has a total sense of justice in this world. I don't think that this would have happened without that daughter of mine with Aicardi syndrome being born. My wife and I have struggled, sure, to raise and, take care of her, but it's a labor of love. And no one takes into account the effect that these children have on everybody else around them. It is a total spiderweb effect. And, I can't even tell you, she goes to school, and a lot of people at school are affected by her in a positive manner, but she just, she's like a firefly catcher. People are just drawn to her, and they ask about her, and they want to know about her, and she brings love into the world, and no one takes that into account. And I think we need a lot more of that, and I'm just glad that my kids want to serve rather than take from society, and I believe that my daughter she's the reason why.
Nice job, Bill. Thank you for the call. Well stated, and
Great, Dad.
Thank you for sharing the story. Good stuff.
Connect with Dan and Amy on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today.
I'm Keith Peters in for Lou Dobbs. Auto sales posted surprise increases in October, and Envision Healthcare shares hit a 4-year low, and the beer battle over Route 66. Those stories next.
Are you being intimidated by the IRS? Rapid Resolution Tax Group is a team of tax attorneys, enrolled agents, and tax professionals who've helped thousands of people with problems just like yours, and they promise not to let the IRS intimidate you. If you are an individual or business who owes at least $10,000 to the IRS, you can turn to them for help. Has your bank account been levied? Do you have years of unfiled tax returns? Let Rapid Resolution Tax Group intervene for you. They're accredited with and A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they guarantee same-day contact with the IRS. If you qualify, Rapid Resolution Tax Group can work towards settling your tax debt for less, removing penalties and fees, and stopping levies and garnishments. Call the professionals at Rapid Resolution Tax Group at 800-601-2929. That's 800-601-2929.
Strong SUV and truck sales and recovery from hurricanes in Texas and Florida fueled a surprise increase in auto sales nationally in October. Uncertainty over Obamacare's future hit another health firm on Wednesday. Shares of Envision Healthcare hit a 4-year low on Wednesday after the ambulatory services provider offered disappointing numbers for the current quarter. Economic reports we're following today include new discount store sales figures and third-quarter GDP numbers. A company based in Cyprus is suing a New Mexico brewery that uses Route 66 in its name. The foreign firm says it owns the trademark for Route 66 beer in America, but the Route 66 Junkyard Brewery only uses the name on its bar, not on any beer it markets. Please join us for Lou Dobbs tonight at 7 and 11 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. I'm Keith Peters for the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
Upstream-ideas.com, premium content that complements what we do on this show each morning. Also at upstream-ideas.com, we post selected interviews in case you missed them here. Great interviews we've done this week, like Kevin Matthews and so many others.
Gloria Allred, I hope you put that
Gloria Allred is posted
Got a
as
lot
well.
Of questions about that interview.
Oh, yeah.
Comments too positive.
No,
ones.
I bet. Oh, of course. Yeah, sure. Yeah, no, that's posted at upstream-ideas.com.
Is it really?
It is. It's posted.
Good.
as well as podcast for Illinois Rising program covering state policy and politics that airs Sundays at 3 p.m. on these airwaves. 60 seconds of sanity commentaries from yours truly this week on the IRS. 2-minute warnings from Pat Hughes at the Illinois Opportunity Project. Follow the Logic Man on the Street segments, as well as Heart of the Matter, our series featuring professional women speaking collegially about the important issues of the day and their impacts on household budgets and families. And then at our sister site, don't forget, defendhomeowners.com. That's where you get a free property tax report on your home, the impact the highest property taxes in the nation are having on your home value and home equity. And you can also download a petition to help us get an advisory question on the 2018 ballot that would adopt effectively the Indiana property tax system and substantially reduce your property taxes, give you your home equity back. All the property tax info and data is at defendhomeowners.com. Everything else, upstream-ideas.com. Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest-growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Kurt Penn, founder and CEO of Good Foods. In 2007, I was shopping in a natural foods grocery store and had a vision for a company that would produce fresh, all-natural foods with a social conscience. Signature Bank helped turn that vision into what now is Good Foods. Signature Bank President Mick O'Rourke listened to our story and learned about our business. Mick has been with us every step of the way. Signature Bank takes care of the details so we can focus on producing good foods. Signature Bank is deeply invested in our success. Good Foods is very proud to bank with Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Despite President Trump's repeated requests, Senate Republicans failed again to repeal Obamacare. If you're tired of calling a bureaucrat at an 800 number to help you navigate Obamacare, then you need a local expert on your side. That's right, your own health insurance mentor. C. Stephen Tucker, C.S. Tucker, from healthinsurancementors.com is someone I know and trust. He's a 20-year licensed broker who's been educating AM 560 listeners on the Affordable Care Act for the past 6 years.
Thanks, Dan. ACA open enrollment is now only 45 days long. From November 1st to December 15th, you cannot be denied coverage based on a pre-existing condition. And depending on your income, you may find a more affordable plan. With narrow networks, even fewer choices, and higher deductibles, now more than ever, you need an expert to help you gain access to the best hospitals and specialists available. Call me. I can help.
Thanks, Steve. How can our listeners get in touch with you?
They can visit healthinsurancementors.com or call me directly at 630-674-1551. That's 630-674-1551.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
We are so thrilled with this product. He was literally getting up, laying on the couch, and falling asleep. He's so alert. It's amazing, totally amazing. This is a great product. His sodium levels have been low for, I would say, maybe close to 20 years. He's normal now, and this is the first time, and I can't even thank you enough.
What are you waiting for? Good health is only a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Call 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code Chicago. That's promo code Chicago. Order today.
Roof is needy?
Call Crumweedy.
Roof is leaky?
Call Crumweedy.
Shingles are curly?
Call Crumweedy.
Roof isn't right after it's stormy?
Call Crumweedy.
Here comes winter. Well, soon. This is Mark Olson.
And Greg Olson of Crumweedy.
A third-generation family business.
We're conservative just like you.
We've been doing Chicagoland roofs since 1953.
Really good roofs.
The difference is installation.
Hey, we know that. That's why we follow the manufacturer specifications, so your warranty is totally intact.
A lot of companies don't do that, and that could void your warranty.
Hate the high pressure?
Not from us.
We give you multiple options. Then you choose.
A roof that lasts at a fair price.
We fix roof problems.
When your roof is needy,
call Crumweedy.
We say call. How about the number?
630-595-8020. 630-595-8020.
MyRoofIsNeedy.com. Hey, do it now. Get it done before the winter comes.
Crumweedy. We fix roof problems.
AM 560. The Answer.
President Trump just tweeted, would love to send the NYC terrorists to Gitmo, but statistically that process takes much longer than going through the federal system.
So he may be going to hell, but he's not going to Gitmo. The question is, should we end the diversity lottery program? That's what President Trump said he's going to initiate. What do you think? We'll give you the details that we know from the investigation to this point and discuss that topic at 7:07.
But first, let's go back into the newsroom and check in with what's going on here at home and around the world. Here's Dave Stewart filling in for Mike Scott. Day 4 without Mike Scott's appendix. How are you surviving?
I'm doing okay, Amy. Thanks. Mayor Emanuel says the city is going to be studying the New York City terror attack. That's among the stories we're watching today. And the city trying to shed its reputation as one of the most rat-infested cities in the country. Those stories after Fox News. WIND Chicago right now. 47 degrees. It's 7 o'clock.
He would love to send the New York City terrorists to Guantanamo. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what President Trump tweeted a few minutes ago, but added statistically that process takes much longer than going through the federal system. The president also just tweeted that Sayfullo Saipov should get the death penalty. The suspect was in court in a wheelchair, handcuffed and shackled last night.
Saipov allegedly admitted that he was inspired to commit the attack by the ISIS videos he watched.
Acting U.S. Attorney June Kim, Saipov was charged with supporting terror and committing violence resulting in death.
He plotted this attack for weeks after being radicalized online, even making dry runs to the city. He wanted to have an ISIS flag, according to authorities, on his truck during the attack, and an ISIS flag in his hospital room.
Fox's Julie Banderas near the scene of the New York City truck attack that left 8 people dead. Police in Colorado keep searching for the man who walked into a Walmart last night in Thornton and started shooting, causing panic.
We started hearing the shots fire, so I hurried up and grabbed my little baby and my wife and try to run out as fast as we could.
3 others had nowhere to run. 2 men were killed on the spot. A woman was also shot, died at a hospital. The gunman walked out of the store and drove away. Republicans in Congress will meet soon, then unveil their tax reform plan today. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, the big reveal comes after a one-day delay as Republicans debated how to pay for tax cuts. President Trump says the plan will create jobs.
More factories, more plants, more opportunities right here in America.
House Democratic leader Nancy Pelosi says the bill will hurt the middle class.
A threat to job security in our country.
Some lawmakers from high tax states like New York and California are fighting the plan. Another potential point of contention, lowering tax-deferred contributions to 401k plans. Dave?
Rachel, they're celebrating in Houston. The Astros won the World Series.
It's amazing.
And it's great. It's awesome.
The Astros beat the LA Dodgers 5-1 in Game 7. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Good morning. It's 47 degrees in Chicago at 7:02 on AM 560. The Answer. For Mike Scott, I'm David Stewart. Cloudy and warmer today with a shower possible and a high of 52. Mayor Emanuel says the city is not under any terrorist threat, but he says the city will learn what it can from the New York attack.
So we always take anything that happens, and the people at OEMC, with police, with fire, with our federal partners, run simulations then and learn from that incident and what other things that we have to do to adapt and change.
The mayor says the city will modify its emergency training as necessary. Union workers are blasting the mayor and Governor Rauner for offering billions to lure Amazon to Chicago instead of providing child care for all families. The Service Employees Union held a rally yesterday at City Hall. City is trying to shed its reputation as the most rat-infested big city in the country. Streets and Sanitation Commissioner Charles Williams says there's money in the new budget for additional crews and additional trash cans.
The number of complaints are higher, but our outreach has been greater. We want folks to call 311 and let us know where they see rodents at, because that helps us as we dispatch our crews.
He dismisses the idea of using feral cats to go after the rats. A Yorkville man is accused of shooting himself and reporting a phony burglary last week at his parents' home in St. Charles. Timothy Fay faces multiple charges, including the reckless discharge of a gun and disorderly conduct involving a false crime report. Illinois State Senator Ira Silverstein stepping down from his Democratic leadership position after allegations of sexual harassment. Senate President John Cullerton's office says the Chicago lawmakers resigned from his majority caucus chair post. In sports, as you heard, Astros won the World Series, their first crown in franchise history. They beat the Dodgers in Game 7, 5-1. In the NBA, it was Miami over the Bulls, 97-91. In the NHL, Blackhawks blanked the Flyers, 3-0. News, a service of Discover Card. Discover Card alerts you if they find your Social Security number on any one of thousands of risky websites. It's just another way they look after you and not just your account. It's free for card members, so just sign up online at discover.com/free alerts. Limitations apply. AM 560 News Time 7:04. We'll check traffic in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Hey there.
What's up, bruh?
Hello.
Aloha.
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Hola.
Hi.
It takes a lot of voices to create the sound of us. The Y welcomes all of them with open arms. From career readiness to safe spaces, the Y is there, no matter who we are. Now, more than ever, they need your support. Donate to your local Y today. The Y, for a better us.
Read by members of the Y.
One size fits all has no place in your bedroom. Hi, I'm Christian von Rickenbach, founder of Helix Sleep, and we know one mattress can't work for everyone. That's why we created the only mattress built for you. Go to helixsleep.com, take our 2-minute sleep quiz, and we'll build your custom mattress and ship it to you for free. Try it for 100 nights, and if it's not the best sleep you've ever had, we'll pick it up and give you your money back. Go to helixsleep.com/talkradio right now, and we'll give you $50 towards your custom mattress. That's helixsleep.com/talkradio.
I'm Jay Farner from Quicken Loans. The rate today on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.875%, APR 4.05%. But choosing the right mortgage lender means choosing much more than just a rate. Let me ask you, does calling the company with the best client service in America, with 11 J.D. Power Awards to prove it, matter? Does calling the company that invented Rocket Mortgage, the industry's most innovative, client-focused technology, matter? Does calling the company with 17,000 plus team members who are helping to rebuild the great cities of Detroit and Cleveland matter? Of course it matters. No wonder our clients have made Quicken Loans America's #1 online lender. Call Quicken Loans today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com for the best mortgage experience on earth. That's 800-QUICKEN.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org number 3030.
At 7:06 from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, David. Eden's inbound looking at 25 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 23. The Kennedy, 49 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. There was an earlier crash at Nagel, 19 minutes from Montrose, 18 in the Express. Outbound 43 to the airport. The Eisenhower, 58 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 41. Northbound I-55, it's jammed. Weber to before Cass with a crash. And it's still heavy after that from Harlem most of the way in. An hour and 18 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. 45 minutes from the Tri-State. Outbound, 52 minutes to 355. Ryan, 23 minutes, 95th to downtown. Northbound Tri-State, slow Cicero to the Hinsdale Oasis. And from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Northbound Veterans Memorial, slow 75th to the Reagan Tollway. Traffic service of TrueCar. With TrueCar, you can see what others paid for the car you want. You can recognize a great deal. TrueCar users on average save over $3,000 off MSRP for new or used cars. Visit TrueCar for a more confident car buying experience. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
More of Chicago's Morning Answer next, but now the forecast. And here's meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Mostly cloudy skies throughout the day and night. A brief shower or two during the day, high 55. An evening shower in a few spots, low tonight 38. Clouds and some sun tomorrow, high 49. Cloudy at night, low 42. Rain Saturday, high 52. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Lakefront now 48 degrees, 49 at Midway, 47 at O'Hare. Next news, 7:30, but get continuous coverage of the latest news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Chicago's Morning Answer continues now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Advanced Planning Advisors, bringing you Smart Money Talk with Mike Moylan and Rob Curvin, Saturday mornings at 6.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Congratulations to the Houston Astros. Justin Verlander and
and his fiancée Kate Upton.
Yeah.
Weren't they so cute together? Making out on the field.
Whatever.
Holding the World Series trophy.
And Korea, he proposed to his girlfriend right after the World Series celebration. How about that?
What did she say?
Yeah.
Did she say yes or no? I don't even need the World Series bonus. That's
She
all
said,
right.
half that ring is mine.
Oh,
she said.
Just
so you know.
No, but I'm happy
run
for
that
him.
family.
Happy for the city. I think it's a great victory.
And also just a note then, too, for Cub fans. It is now improper, and I would say it should be illegal.
Illegal now?
Yeah.
Oh, this
criminal
is-
offense.
Oh,
To refer to the Cubs as world champions, you have to say they're 2016 world champions because they're no longer world champions. So don't ever say the Cubs are world champions again because you won't legitimately ever be able to say it again. All you'll be able to do is say 2016 world champions.
Well, I would like to thank you for that
You're welcome.
clarification.
You're welcome.
And I hope that all of my fellow Cub fans are compliant and listen to Dan's advice.
I hope they do too. I mean, I'm just going to, in the interest of staying on the right side of the law.
Yeah, and
or
also
what should be the law.
We should mention too that the Blaine Blue Jays won our first round of the playoffs.
Yeah,
Both
right.
fifth
The
and
other big
sixth.
game last night.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw it on ESPN.
Right.
The quadruple. We're really making great strides.
Were there any marriage proposals after that win?
No.
Good.
But we did take the net down because that's what you always do after the game, and take the chairs down as well. But yeah, so we have a big game coming up next week. I think our opponent might be Bell, but it could be Hawthorne or Disney. We'll see. I as the chairman and the owner of the volleyball program at Blaine, since I made a bet with you, I will let you know, Commissioner, when that will be.
Yeah, I don't. I got a problem with those Disney folks.
They have the best gym. Ooh.
No, of course, and mascots.
Oh.
All right, on to more serious matters.
Yes.
Enough of the bread and circuses. This, what we're now learning about the terrorist who committed that attack on the bike path in Manhattan along the Hudson River, killed 8, injured 11. Turns out we know a little bit more about him now, including that he was previously interviewed by the FBI.
When did that take place?
Now, he wasn't the focus. This is 2 years ago in 2015. He was listed as a point of contact for 2 men whose names were entered into the Counterterrorism and Criminal Exploitation Unit's list after they came to the U.S. from threat countries, overstayed their visas, and vanished, this a federal official telling ABC News. He was the focus of these investigations, the Islamic terrorist that committed that act on the bike path. He was not the focus of those investigations. He was never the subject of his own case file, but he was talked to. He was a point of contact from 2 people who disappeared. It was kind of replete with questions and problems, that little anecdote. In addition, we know he had interest in 2 Ohio trucking companies, had come to this country and been in Ohio to Tampa to Patterson, New Jersey.
Yeah, self-radicalized. He told investigators that he was proud. He was happy with what he did. He asked for an ISIS flag to be hung in his hospital room. He thought about putting an ISIS flag on that Home Depot truck that he rented, but decided against it because it would draw too much attention. But he chose Halloween, Dan, because he thought there'd be a lot of people out on the street. So at 3 o'clock, that's when he struck. But he chose to take a bike path where there were bicyclists and not trick-or-treaters, which is fine with me. Shouldn't have done it in the first place, obviously. But the what stopped him, his goal was to get to the Brooklyn Bridge and then plow down even more people.
Right.
But he hit this school bus with 4 people inside, 2 adults and 2 special needs kids, and one Good Samaritan who ran to the bus and was talking to the kids. Are you okay? Okay. You have got to see this video because this one kid, he's wearing a red jacket, and he looks so scared, and he's hugging his buddy next to him. But thank God the point of impact was on the opposite side of where they were sitting on the school bus, so they're alive. They had minor injuries, but they're going to be okay.
2 cell phones recovered, law enforcement obtaining search warrants to go through them. Cell phone 1, 90 videos and 3,800 images of ISIS-related propaganda, many showing ISIS fighters killing people, instructions on bomb making. Cell phone 2, internet searches for the Home Depot in Passaic. Search for Halloween in NYC. Search for Home Depot Trump rentals and the like. So that's a little bit more of a picture of the individual.
And he did rent the van a few months prior to practice turns
Yeah,
and
this
how to
was
maneuver it
planned,
planned.
right,
And then the
yes.
day of the attack, he picked up the van an hour before and
And-
then drove to Lower Manhattan.
And so, since he came to this country in 2010 by winning the diversity visa lottery, that, of course, is the subject of much discussion now, including from President Trump, who addressed that topic at a cabinet meeting yesterday.
I am today starting the process of terminating the diversity lottery program. I'm going to ask Congress to immediately initiate work to get rid of this program. Diversity and diversity lottery. Diversity lottery sounds nice. It's not nice. It's not good. It's not good. It hasn't been good. We've been against it.
Well, the question is diversity, should diversity be enough to get you into this country in terms of what do you bring to America if you want to emigrate here? I'm diverse. You have a small Uzbekistan population here. I would add to that. Is that enough? Any other country? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Again, just understand how the diversity lottery program works. 50,000 visas awarded at random to immigrants from countries whose emissions total fewer than 50,000 over the preceding 5 years.
So the countries historically have low rates of immigration.
Right. Lottery winners, the 50,000, make up less than 5% of total legal immigrants. Applicants must have graduated from high school or have at least 2 years of formal training in an occupation. Most visas initially went to European countries when this program started in 1990, but the plurality, or actually majority, has been going to African countries of late. But the question, whether it's European or African, the country is not material other than to the extent you say, well, a country that is an incubator of terrorism, a country that where people are coming and we can't really properly vet them. That makes it material. But the more global issue, just adding to diversity, if you will, adding to a small population of immigrants from a particular country, should that be enough to get you in this country? Should we have a lottery solely based on that, as opposed to what President Trump also referenced yesterday, which is a merit-based immigration question?
It's a 25-year-old program. I'd like to replace it with a merit-based one, but I mean, even eliminating the program, will that really cut down on terror attacks? I mean, or should we should do something?
Well,
we have to do something.
We should do something. We should do the right thing. And so the question is this a sensible reform policy? Nothing is fail-safe. Nothing eliminates the problem, makes us 100% safe. But even despite the fact, as the Wall Street Journal argues, that the Tsarnaev brothers who emigrated from Kyrgyzstan, they were brought here by their parents who received political asylum. Orlando shooter, American-born. San Bernardino shooter, American-born. His wife and collaborator, legal immigrant from Pakistan. So it's not that this profile of the terrorist in Manhattan is a profile we've seen repeated over and over again. But that's not to say that's not much of a defense of the diversity lottery program. The question is the diversity lottery program on its merits. Is that a sensible aspect of our immigration policy, or is it not? Bob in Waukegan, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, I think the whole immigration thing is asinine, to tell you the truth. We should stop the diversity lottery program until we get a vetting system in. What did John Cass call them? Sharia supremacists. Until we get a vetting program that can accurately assess Sharia supremacism. Put Ayan Hershey Ali on the committee along with Judy Zasser to get an accurate system to do that with. We should go to what they do in Israel when a person commits a crime like this. The 23 people that he brought over from Uzbekistan or whatever the hell it's called, they should send them all back. They should seize their assets. Give them enough money to give them a plane fare to go back to where they came from. Because if you think that he didn't affect the people that came in with him and they don't have the same ideology, you're a fool.
Thanks for the call, Bob. George in Libertyville.
Couldn't agree more with the last caller. I mean, this is just a moronic, absolutely moronic law that, like coming to the United States is like a game show, and then you get to bring 20 of your closest friends to instantly hop on to our welfare system. And then, and then we have mayors, like our moronic mayor in that stupid city down there saying, we're going to learn from this. What are you going to learn from this, Mayor? How to get the people that are run over quicker? You know what the problem is. You just refuse to do anything about it. And at the same time, let's keep the sanctuary status so that we can continue to keep criminals safe. It's crazy. Thanks.
Thanks, George. John in Wheaton.
Hey, good morning. I'm stuck in terrible traffic. I stand in lines everywhere. There's crowds all over the place. Do we need anybody? Honest to God, why do we need anybody at all? Why don't we just sort of shut it down?
Shut down all immigration. No more immigration.
Yeah, for 10 years, until traffic gets better.
Okay. Thanks for the call. I don't know if the standard of traffic on the Eisenhower should inform our immigration policy, particularly since in Illinois is hollowing out. But okay.
Right. But do we really need this program?
I don't. Well, no. So diversity as a credential.
Aren't we diverse enough here?
Well, it's not about
the
being.
Swedes are getting run out of the country.
Yeah, right. We're very worried about the diminishing Swede percentage of the population.
Well, no, we used to be a juggernaut on Foster and Clark, and now we just have a bar in Svea's.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And the Swedish American Museum, which everybody should go to.
So the idea of diversity as a credential.
Yeah,
that's the problem. So I'm totally opposed to eliminating legal immigration. Totally opposed to that. I'm opposed to the RAISE Act, Tom Cotton's RAISE Act, which would have immigration over the next decade. I'm opposed to that. I think a merit-based system makes a lot of sense. I think we should always be looking to bring people to this country who want to come to this country and add value. Bob from Waukegan mentioned Ayan Hirsi Ali and Zuhdi Jasser as well. But, people that come from other countries to serve our country honorably, to contribute to our country in ways that you can't always imagine. Think about Shahid Khan. He just popped to mind. Pakistani immigrant, came here in the 60s, gets an engineering degree from U of I, founds a company that provides auto parts to the big three, becomes a billionaire. Now he's the Jacksonville Jaguars owner. Those are the stories that are uniquely American, and we want those stories to continue to occur and be told, and to foster more of them. So to me, it's the kind of the criteria and the protocols, not the numbers. And diversity isn't a credential. If you just look for talent and people that are here to make a better life for themselves and their families and contribute to this great experiment in self-governance called America, then great. The diversity piece of it will take care of themselves, because that's an attitude. It's not a racial profile. It's not a religious profile. It's not a gender profile. It's an attitude. It's a belief system. And that's how you assimilate, and that's what we share, or we should share. So I think that's my approach to immigration. I don't know that it's everybody's, but it's mine. Ken in Cherville, Indiana.
Yes, I'd first like to say I'm a Democrat, and I favor merit-based immigration system.
Mm-hmm.
So the diversity component of it is not something that I would support. Interestingly enough, though, and I think was observed earlier, that initially this program was brought in more European immigrants.
Right.
And that really was kind of the original purpose. The diversification that was being sought was to bring in more Europeans. I think that to a certain extent, this is sort of a straw man kind of argument, because the Senate had voted to eliminate this program, and for whatever reason, it couldn't get it through the Republican-controlled House. So I don't really hear a lot of defense of this. I don't know. I don't really understand what the debate is about.
Yeah.
There's not really very much support for this program.
Yeah, no, I think that's right, Ken.
Even
Thanks
Chuck
for the call.
Schumer, who proposed in 1990, was part of a bipartisan group.
It was bipartisan, no question.
To get rid of it. So why
It
don't
was bipartisan to introduce it as part of the
Right.
1990 Immigration Reform Act, and then, yes,
in 2013 they tried to
Right.
dismantle it. So why don't we get rid? It's 27 years old now. We don't really need it because we're diverse, I think.
we have
I
a.
think we could check that box off in our accomplishment list.
I think Milton Friedman once said, "Nothing is so permanent as a temporary government program," and I think that's what you have here. Another example of Ralph and Rantoul.
Yeah, good morning. Hey, diversity is great, but these days when that word is used by people in government or any sort of permanent bureaucracy, we're talking about affirmative quota. We're not really talking about diversity, because I think if we look in our neighborhoods and around our cities and our country, we're a pretty diverse place. As far as even merit-based, I'm kind of lucky that it wasn't merit-based, because my grandpa came across from Poland 100 and something years ago, unable to read or write English, Polish, anything, with his cardboard suitcase, a change of clothes, and $200 in his pocket. So our family has flourished since then, but it's because we worked. Everybody worked, all the ancestors. It wasn't about welfare. It wasn't about coming in and living off the government quan.
Well, right.
So as far as this diversity thing goes, I don't know. What do you do? Put all the countries like ping pong balls in a big basket, turn it around, and go, hey, you won the lotto, and your people will be put to the head of the line. I don't know. When I worked overseas, we had to prove in our documentation that I was a person that deserved to go to the UK to work, because there was nobody else in the organization that had the skill set that they needed to bring over there.
Well, yeah, and ostensibly that's part of our, for example, H-1B visa requirements, right? Yeah.
I know, but let's not make it affirmative quota.
Yeah.
Let's not use diversity as a code word for that, because that's wrong.
I hear you. Thanks for the call, Ralph. Donna in Gurnee.
Hi, Donna and Amy. Thank you for taking my call. I think this conversation can't take place unless you talk about the chain migration. This terrorist in New York actually brought in 23 other family members into this country. So if you start talking about immigration, just like DACA, that chain migration is a huge factor in this. And as far as the demographics, Drudge was just posting something today about the Muslim population actually eclipsing and getting larger than the Jewish population in this country. So it's going to be kind of interesting about how that population either assimilates or doesn't assimilate, and what they actually choose to do in this country as far as being part of the legal system or not. So I think that those are all arguments and conversations to be had.
Thanks for the call, Donna.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
The war on depression is over.
You win.
Depression, with all the drugs and side effects, the endless counseling, the frustration with life and relationships.
The war is over. You win.
In a few short weeks, your life will change.
It's TMS therapy.
Over 1 million people have been treated, and the results are nothing short of outstanding. It's FDA cleared. It's covered by most insurance, including Blue Cross Blue Shield and Medicare.
Most drugs and other treatments just mask the depression.
TMS treats the cause, so you can win the war with your depression. Remission or cure.
Depression gone.
Get a free consultation at one of the HPR centers in Chicagoland and Wisconsin. Ask questions.
For you or someone you love, safe, revolutionary, effective treatment for depression.
Let depression recovery begin. HPR centers.
800-604-0208. 800-604-0208.
Go to endmydepression.com.
2 strong banking teams have united to help you continue to grow your business with the same dedication and even more opportunities. And we have a new name. The private bank is now CIBC. The same team you know and trust now brings deeper resources, global banking reach, and the power to help your business seize new opportunities. Our name may have changed, but our commitment to your business is now stronger than ever. Visit us at CIBC.com/US. Member FDIC.
The
The Chicago Symphony Orchestra returns to Wheaton College with a 3-concert series November 10th, January 26th, and March 16th, featuring Schubert's Great C Major Symphony, Mahler's Fifth Symphony, and Riccardo Muti leading the CSO in Mozart's Sinfonia Concertante, featuring CSO Concertmaster Robert Chen and violist Paul Neubauer. Tickets start at $45. For tickets, visit cso.org/Wheaton.
Did you know 40% of all cancer could be prevented? That's a fact. Along with maintaining appropriate body weight and regular exercise, the American Institute for Cancer Research and the USDA confirm that eating 9 to 11 servings of fruits and vegetables every day is the key. Now ask yourself, am I at risk? How many servings of fruits and vegetables did I eat today? Balance of Nature has solved this problem and provides an easy and affordable way to consume over 10 servings of 31 different whole fruits and vegetables every day.
Call now to find out how to get your free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Call now, 800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago.
AM 560, The Answer.
Text from Ann B. Davis says, bowling ball. Without the diversity program, would Bruce Rauner's grandparents ever have made it here from Sheboygan? Okay.
And then again, we're going to find out if they're Norwegian. Doing a DNA test.
Quickly, Jeff in South Beloit, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, this is just one more example of the people not paying attention to what their government's doing. And, you know, when are we going to wake up and start paying attention? You pay your taxes, but you don't pay attention.
Great point, Jeff. Thanks for the call.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We'll pick up this discussion in part and talk about poverty programs in this country, which is obviously connected to the immigration discussion, with Robert Doar, who's a scholar at the American Enterprise Institute and a former commissioner for the New York City Human Resources Administration. That's at 7:37.
And what was bin Laden watching? The VHS stash has been revealed, and we'll take your guesses. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Catch up with Dave Stewart, who's in for Mike Scott.
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Dan. 47 degrees in Chicago at 7:31 at AM 560, The Answer. A cloudy day, warmer, with a possible shower and a high of 52. Suspect in this week's deadly attack in New York City is now facing federal terror charges. The federal prosecutor, June Kim, announced those charges yesterday.
Charges Saipov with 2 counts. First, material support of a terrorist organization, that being ISIS. And second, a federal charge of violence and destruction of a motor vehicle with willful disregard for the safety of human life.
Kim said investigators found thousands of ISIS-related images and dozens of violent ISIS videos on the suspect's cell phone. Mayor Emanuel says the city of Chicago is not under any terrorist threat, but he says the city will learn what it can from the New York attack.
The terrorist act was an attempt to intimidate people from not going about their daily lives. And no terrorist is going to stop and intimidate not only New York people, but Americans and their resilience.
The mayor says the city will modify its emergency training if necessary. House Republicans are expected to release their tax reform bill today. Democrats call the bill a GOP effort to give big tax cuts to the wealthy. President Trump insists the tax cuts will be aimed at middle-class families. A hearing in the conspiracy case against Paul Manafort, former Trump campaign manager, goes before a federal judge in Washington today. Manafort's been under house arrest since pleading not guilty to 12 counts on Monday. The woman looking to challenge Bruce Rauner on the Republican ticket's having to start over again. State Rep. Jeannie Ives yesterday said it's a paperwork error, a couple of transposed numbers that forces her to get all new signatures in her bid for office. A state senator says there are actually more than 24 sexual harassment complaints on file at the Illinois Capitol, but there's no one to look at them. Senator Karen McConaughey says she's found 27 complaints, but the Senate Inspector General's post has been unfilled for months. In sports, the Astros beat the Dodgers 5-1 in Game 7 to win the World Series. It's their first crown in franchise history dating back to 1962. The NBA, the Miami over the Bulls 97-91. In hockey, the Blackhawks beat the Flyers 3-0. The news is service of LBJ the movie. This Friday, don't miss director Rob Reiner's new film LBJ, starring Academy Award nominee Woody Harrelson as the bombastic 36th President of the United States. That's this Friday in theaters everywhere. It's rated R. AM 560 News Time, 7:34. We'll check traffic in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Ready for a bad cold and flu season? A cold is a cold, but flu brings fever. Be prepared with the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer, backed by medical professionals everywhere.
Honey, we need more space. With the new baby on the way and the kids getting older, we need it now. I love this home and I really don't want to move.
As homes age, it makes sense to remodel. It's much more cost-effective than moving. Choosing the right contractor is as important as your kitchen, bath, or addition. I'm Robert Soto, owner of Midland Development Group. Over decades of experience working with homeowners like you, I've excelled at finding the perfect solution for your individual needs, from concept to design all the way to completion of your project. I also share your values and know you demand the best quality, price, and dependability. I hope you'll give us a chance to prove to you that my word is my bond. We're Home Advisor affiliated and look forward to discussing your project.
Contact Robert Soto of Midland Development Group. Call 312-617-7335 or visit MidlandDevelopmentGroup.com. Midland Development Group, where price and quality meet. 312-617-7335 or at MidlandDevelopmentGroup.com. Millwright work is often technical and requires a high degree of precision. The pros at Vans Industrial are skilled mechanics that can perform any type of millwright work, including installation and maintenance of your factory equipment and machinery. For your machine repair needs, look no further than Vans Industrial.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, president of Vans Industrial. Vans Industrial is an industrial millwright contractor that can install new mechanical systems or repair existing systems. Our services include repair of bearings, shafts, shiv alignments, as well as installation of conveyors and bucket elevators. Our team of trained mechanics will respond to your emergency calls 24/7, keeping your systems operational. We're here to help you.
Call 219-931-4881 today for a free inspection of your facility. Interested in what else they do? Visit vansindustrial.com. That's VANS Industrial.com. Quality craftsmanship since 1964.
At 7:36 from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim Talamonte.
David, the northbound tri-state's pretty heavy now. Southwest Highway to 31st Street from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue and from the Bensonville Bridge up to the Adams Tollway. The eastbound Jane Addams is fine, so is the Reagan Tollway. Northbound Veterans Memorial, though, it's gummed up from I-55 most of the way to St. Charles and from Army Trail to 290. Eden's 21 minutes, Lake Cook to the junction, outbound 27. Kennedy, 55 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 46. The Eisenhower, an hour and 4 minutes, 390, Burn Circle, 48 minutes from Manheim, outbound 50 out to 390. Stevenson, after a crash before Cass, it is heavy, with delays starting at 126. Once you get to 355, it's an hour and 14 minutes from there to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 46 minutes. Ryan, 25 minutes, 95th to downtown. Traffic is a service of Lowe's. Pro customers at Lowe's save 5% on every purchase every day when you use your Lowe's Business Credit Account. That's 5% on all purchases in-store or online. Subject to credit approval, U.S. only. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
More of Chicago's Morning Answer next, but now the forecast. Today, mostly cloudy and warmer, maybe a brief shower or two. Some fog this morning, a high of 54. Showered in parts tonight, otherwise mostly cloudy, low 39. Tomorrow, partly sunny with a high of 50. Right now, it's 47 degrees at O'Hare. Next news, 8 o'clock. Get continuous coverage of the latest news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Now, more of Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 on your mobile device. Now available on iHeartRadio. Online at iHeartRadio.com.
No Victocrats allowed. Why? Because we've got a country to save. Join me, Larry Elder, tonight starting at 7 on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Part of the immigration debate that is raging, particularly in the wake of the terrorist attack in Manhattan. One, it's about security. And that's one aspect of it. It's also about dependency and the idea of people coming into this country to access welfare state benefits, not necessarily to kind of contribute and grow opportunity in the country. That's one of the arguments that's made. But there's a problem with that as well. One, it's easily addressed, but two, and we mentioned the statistic before, but this comes to us from a book on the welfare state by John Cogan, Stanford University, and the Hoover Institute, a history of U.S. federal entitlement programs. 41%, this is 2015, 41% of America's non-elderly headed households receive entitlement benefits. 41%.
41?
So when you want to talk about unwinding the welfare state, redundant anti-poverty programs, counterproductive anti-poverty programs, those that are dependency-inducing and soul-crushing, it's certainly not solely a recent immigration problem. It's a cultural problem in America. For more on this topic, we're pleased to be joined by Robert Doar, who is a American Enterprise Institute scholar and former commissioner of the New York City Human Resources Administration. Robert, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Well, thanks for having me, Dan and Amy.
You're
right.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Right. I was just going to say that the extent to which people are receiving benefits is far greater than you would expect, and it's not just immigrants or poor inner city residents. And the key distinction is, are they working? The most important thing we need to do is to get people who are out of the labor force into work. And if they need a little assistance to make that work go a little further, I can accept that. But we have too many people that are not working because they're able to receive assistance that keeps them, limited but acceptable. So work is the key.
Work is the key. And so with respect to all of the quote-unquote anti-poverty programs and food support programs, many of which seem to be kind of redundant and either redundant in one hand and at odds with one another in another hand, what are some things that we could do that we should be advocating to address what you're describing, incentivizing work rather than dependency?
So in the programs that provide, for instance, food assistance, like the food stamp program, public health insurance, like Medicaid, instead of running them in a way that says, here, let me take your information and give you your card and get you out the door and I'll see you later, we should say, we want to help you, but we also want to help you get a job. And too often in those programs, they work, say no.
Robert, you're cutting out on us a bit there. Are you still there?
The key ingredient, I'm still here. The key ingredient is to require work in return for assistance. We need to be saying to people that it's a two-way street, and there's a reciprocal responsibility, both from the government to provide assistance, but also from the person receiving assistance to be moved towards self-sufficiency.
Well, what happened? Because I thought that's what we did in the mid-'90s when we leveled up the successful welfare-to-work programs in Midwestern states like Wisconsin and Michigan to federal entitlement reform. And it seems that now, 20 years plus later, we're having the same conversation we were having in the 90s.
Well, we did it in one program, and we did it well in one program. But over the years, and partly due to the Obama administration efforts, we loaded up these other programs that are not the Temporary Assistance for Needy Families program that has a strong work requirement. And they're either tax credits or food stamps or disability assistance or Medicaid. And those have kind of brought back this dependency problem, which we need to spend time because the economy is stronger and be helping people move to work.
And so that's one aspect of it. And then as we're talking about immigration, help us inform that debate. One of the things I've suggested, and I'm not the only one, Steve Moore and others have suggested it too, is the idea, look, there's no constitutional right to transfer benefits. So for immigrants that want to come to this country and say they want to work and improve their lives and improve America in so doing, prove up, sign a waiver to welfare state benefits for some period or for some particular initial period of time to really put your name on the line that's exactly what you're planning on doing when you're getting here. What about that?
I was a strong opponent in New York City, which is a very pro-immigration city. I'm sure I come here just for the purpose of getting assistance. People that were supposed to sponsor or support people who came here, that they stepped up to it too. It is true that not all immigrants are on welfare, but it's also true that some portion are, and we need to be facing up to that. The idea is to come to the United States to work and to move up, not to receive welfare.
Well, do you know the percentage of immigrants that come here that are on welfare?
I don't know the percentage. It's significant, but it's not overwhelming. I do know that in New York City, we spent hundreds of millions of dollars supporting recent arrivals in various welfare programs. Now, some of them are work support, which make work go further, but Medicaid, for instance, provided assistance to recent immigrants, and both legal and illegal, and we need to be clear about that and do what we can to ensure that the comment between the arrived prospective citizen and the government is, we're expecting you to come here to work and to move up.
Last week it was reported that the food stamp rolls have declined by 1.5 million people since Trump took office. Is that a product of a growing economy with more opportunity, or is there something else afoot in terms of reforming that program?
It's principally the growing economy, but 1 million is still above 40 million, and it's still far above where it was prior to the recession. And so we've got a long way to go there. I'm hoping that the Trump administration brings some new policies into that program that are focused on work. They say they're going to, and if they do, then I think more people will move into work, and there'll be less need for food stamp benefits.
All right. He is Robert Doar, American Enterprise Institute scholar, former commissioner for the New York City Human Resources Administration. Robert, thanks so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
This is the morning show more Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up next, we'll take your phone calls. And also, what was Osama bin Laden watching? He had VHS tapes, and they have been outed. But first, here's your
nothing but rom-coms, I'm guessing.
Oh, you're going to love this list. But first, here's your forecast. Areas of drizzle and fog this morning, and then we're going to have rain starting right after 4 o'clock, a high of 54 degrees. Tonight, rain, and then tomorrow, plenty of sunshine, some few high clouds, and a nice day. We deserve a day without rain. It's going to be high to near 50 degrees. Let's get into our alarm detection systems traffic center. Here is Jim Telemonte.
Amy and Dan, the Eden Spur has westbound delays from the Edens to Waukegan Road, where a crash blocks the left lane. Edens itself, 22 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 28. Kennedy, an hour and 3 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, outbound 55 minutes. The Eisenhower, an hour and 4 minutes. 390 to the Circle, outbound 50 minutes. Stevenson, inbound delay start at 126, and it's an hour and 14 minutes, 3:55 to the Drive, outbound 46 minutes. Ryan, 25 minutes, 95th to downtown, I-57, 41 minutes, I-80 to the Merge, Bishop Ford, 55. Northbound Tri-State gummed up from Southwest Highway to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway much of the way to the Adams Tollway. Veterans Memorial still I-55 most of the way to St. Charles, Army Trail to 290. I'm Jim Telemonte, the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Hey guys, Ken here from the hit podcast Today's Growth. Who would win a 3-mile bicycle race, an 11-year-old girl or last year's winner of the Tour de France? It all depends on the bicycle. It depends on their vehicle. Both on a 10-speed and the pro racer is going to win every time. But put the racer on a tricycle and the 11-year-old wins every time. You see, it's not the driver, it's the vehicle. When it comes to generating revenue, it's exactly the same. If you have a job or a small business, you are riding a tricycle. You can only go so fast. If you need to make up lost ground, it's not going to happen on a tricycle. No matter how fast you pedal, it's simply not going to win the race. Why do many people with no schooling and no advanced degree often become very wealthy? Simple. They choose to only ride 10 speeds. When it comes to helping people create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss when it comes to putting people on a 10-speed. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
Gentlemen, it's No Shave Movember. Time to change the face of your health for the better. Take the first step and get your levels checked by someone you can trust. I personally recommend my friends at Low T Center. That's where I got my levels tested. The service, fantastic. Their physicians exclusively diagnose and treat men for low testosterone levels. At Low T Center, they know we hate going to the doctor, so they make it quick and easy with their on-site lab. You get your results back in about 20 minutes, and most health insurance is accepted. This Movember, Low T Center is offering a testosterone and prostate level test with an assessment for just $50. Guys, take that first step. Contact my friends at Low T Center, now with a location in downtown Chicago on the Mag Mile, 625 North Michigan Avenue. Call 312-239-3427. Tell them Dan Prof sent you. That's me. 312-239-3427 is the number. Call 312-239-3427 now, or visit them online at lowtcenter.com.
Are you facing foreclosure, been foreclosed upon, in a bad modification, or just stuck in a bad mortgage? Well, we may be able to help you. My name is Lou Bridges. I'm an attorney with the law firm of Lou Bridges & Associates. We've been helping distressed homeowners like you for over 8 years now. We defend foreclosure actions. We bring claims against the banks and the servicers for wrongful foreclosure and other violations of mortgage servicing regulations. And we help people negotiate modifications of their existing mortgages, often including principal reductions. Give us a call. We provide free consultations. I guarantee you it will not be a sales pitch. We will give you our honest analysis, counsel, and advice regarding your options.
Hi, this is Rayanne from Lou Bridges & Associates. I am one of the loan modification processors here, and if you are in need of any additional information in regard to a loan modification, please contact the office.
Go to bridgeslaw.net or call 224-513-1231. That's 224-513-1231.
Remember, people, never give up the land. Fight for truth and justice. You do that, and I guarantee you'll never be alone.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
By the time I reached 1 year period, I had lost 2 inches off my waist, and I lost 17 pounds.
I think they're part of the reason that I was able to shake 10 pounds, and I think because the support, nutritional support. My blood pressure significantly is so low now compared to what it was. I think I'm doing great with it.
You've got a good product. It's just amazing.
What are you waiting for? Good health is only a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Call 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code Chicago. That's promo code Chicago. Order today.
A storm is on the horizon, and you need to keep the lights on no matter what. Your business relies on the power being on 24/7. It's the lifeblood of your data and computer systems. Weather-related outages from the power company are not acceptable. Your need for a source of power that's reliable 24/7, along with round-the-clock service that can dispatch technicians to your site immediately, is mission critical. Your business needs Charles Equipment Energy Systems on speed dial. These are the big boys, not residential or solar, but reliable industrial generators for emergency backup or events. When you need more than a 100-foot extension cord plugged into a small engine generator, call Charles Equipment Energy Systems. They keep the lights on with rental generators for job sites or power outages. Stay warm this winter. Plan ahead. Call now to prepare generators for winter storms and potential power outages. Call 630-834-6000. That's 630-834-6000 or charlesequipment.com. charlesequipment.com.
Savings based on 2-year protection plan compared to T-Mobile premium device protection as of July 12, 2017. SquareTrade does not cover lost or stolen items. Terms and conditions apply.
Getting a new phone? Get this. Every 2 seconds, one of us accidentally breaks our phone. So, protecting your phone is a smart idea. But phone insurance through your wireless carrier can cost as much as $15 every month. Switch to SquareTrade phone protection instead, for half the cost of insurance through your wireless carrier. And you could save $200 or more. It's like protecting 2 phones for the price of 1. SquareTrade covers accidents like drops and spills with easy same-day repair options. Part of the Allstate family, we're trusted by over 30 million customers with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. And switching to SquareTrade is easy. How else can you save $200 in 10 minutes? So don't wait. Switch today.
Switch to SquareTrade now and you can save over $200. Visit squaretrade.com. That's squaretrade.com.
You've heard of living trusts and how they can help protect your assets, but you may not know if a living trust is right for you. Or maybe you have questions about creating your own living trust. The fact is, almost everyone can benefit from a living trust, which can protect your assets from the court system and your loved ones from unnecessary expense and inconvenience. Learn more at a free seminar Thursday, November 9th. Estate planning attorney Robert Zapolis will explain how to create your own living trust, estate planning under the new tax laws, why a will does not avoid probate, and more. Have your estate planning and living trust questions answered absolutely free. Don't miss this important seminar Thursday, November 9th at 6:30 p.m. at Papa Joe's Restaurant, 145th and LaGrange Road in Orland Park. The seminar is free and a complimentary dinner is served, but you must make a reservation now. Call 708-478-1400. Call 708-478-1400. Again, 708-478-1400.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, so Bin Laden, trove of Bin Laden documents have been released. Some very serious matters, like, for example, a 19-page document written by a senior member of Al-Qaeda detailing an arrangement between Iran and members of Al-Qaeda to strike American interests in Saudi Arabia and the Gulf. This, is important because that's our new partner in peace there, Iran, that the previous administration provided a glide path to nuclearization for the worst deal in American history, Trump called it. And Iran in bed with Al-Qaeda shouldn't be a surprise, but it speaks to how silly that deal was the Obama administration inked.
Yeah, and it's also, there's video release of it. Well, not release, but they had a list of videos and VHS tapes that he had, things that he was watching online. And one is his favorite son, who was married in Iran. They had a real big shindig for his favorite son. So that's also on there. But Mike Pompeo, the CIA director, he provided the opportunity for American people to gain further insights into the plans and workings of this terrorist organization. There's 470,000 additional files, and they're going to be released later to the public, but some people were able to see them yesterday. And the VHS list is out of what he liked to watch.
Let me guess. He big Kate Hudson fan. He loved Bride Wars.
No, it's a little more juvenile than that. Besides the large porn stash that he had of VHS tapes, he also enjoyed classics such as Chicken Little, Cars, Ice Age, Dawn of the Dinosaurs, Ants, Batman, Gotham Knights. He also had a ton of Ben and Jerry, not Ben and Jerry, the Ben and Jerry, not
ice
Ben
cream,
and Jerry. Tom and Jerry.
Tom and Jerry.
I'm so sorry. Tom and
He
Jerry
liked Tom
videos.
and Jerry.
He liked Tom and Jerry, which I couldn't stand Tom and Jerry. And on YouTube, he watched. Are you ready for this? Cat videos. He watched a number of cat. He loved cats.
That's interesting.
And
how much you and Bin Laden are similar.
And on the softer side, he looked up on YouTube about how to crochet baskets. I mean, it's crazy. He also, too, besides the Tom and Jerry files, he also had a number of articles and, the biographies about him. He had those on VHS.
I'm a little bit done with his Cosmo profile. More interested in the Iran documents and the connection between Iran and Al-Qaeda.
Well, just so you know, too, he had a CBS article from 2010, Donald Trump. I'm absolutely thinking about running for president. He had that as well.
Quickly take a call. Bonnie in Orland Park. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi. I just wanted to make a comment about our security at the airports. I know it was heightened at Tuesday because of the incident in New York, but whoever is responsible for training security, I mean, it's like they went through a training program for the Chicago Public Schools. I dropped my daughter off. She was returning to Phoenix. She is a 5'4" blonde hair, blue eyes, 115-pound, vision impaired woman with a white cane. She went through security. They took her shoes. They patted down her right ankle, not both.
Right.
Right
So
ankle.
the profiling issue, we're up
Yes.
against the clock, Bonnie, but the profiling
Yes.
issue is what you're getting to, right?
Yes, and they need extensive training, not the clowns that they have there. I don't know who is responsible for that.
Yeah, the federal
But-
government. Thanks for the call, Bonnie.
On your smartphone, download the AM 560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Shoot Point Blank is now open in Naperville, a safe and comfortable shooting range and gun shop Shoot Point Blank features climate-controlled shooting lanes, retail store, and firearm education classes for all experience levels. Shop top brands including Glock, Ruger, or Smith & Wesson. Experience the Shoot Point Blank difference and see for yourself why so many people are talking about Shoot Point Blank.
Great range, great service, great staff.
Now open at the corner of North Aurora and Frontenac in Naperville. Visit shootpointblank.com for details. Point Blank Range and Gun Shop provides a clean and safe indoor shooting range and retail store. At Point Blank, associates focus on customer needs, whether they're an expert or new to shooting. That's the reason so many people are talking about their Point Blank experience.
Brett was very friendly, and he answered all my questions. And because I'm new to pistols, I'm really grateful he was patient and helped me decide what to buy for my new firearm.
Point Blank Range and Gun Shop. Experience the difference. ShootPointBlank.com for more information.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
It's the book that's rocking the left, and we're going to talk to the author, Erica Komisar, on why motherhood needs to be prioritized, not politicized, at 8:08.
But first, into the newsroom we go. David Stewart in for Mike Scott.
Good morning, Amy. Among the stories we are watching today, Mayor Emanuel says the city will study the New York City terror attack. We'll get that and more after an update from Fox News on AM 560, The Answer. You're listening to WIND Chicago, where it's 47 degrees at 8 o'clock.
Death penalty. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump wrote that in all caps with an exclamation point about New York City terror suspect Sayfullo Saipov, charged in court last night, shackled in a wheelchair.
Saipov committed this attack in support of ISIS.
Acting U.S. Attorney June Kim says he had thousands of pictures and videos of ISIS killings and beheadings on his cell phones. Fox's John Decker live at the White House.
The president, writing on Twitter, would love to send the New York City terrorist to Guantanamo, but statistically that process takes much longer than going through the federal system. Also adding there's also something appropriate about keeping him in the home of the horrible crime he committed. Should move fast, he tweeted. The criminal complaint against the 29-year-old Uzbek native alleges he provided authorities with details on how he planned Tuesday's attack for months and his commitment to an ISIS playbook. Dave?
John, Republicans in Congress are gathering this hour before they unveil their tax reform plan.
This is a proposal that's going to cut tax rates for all families. It's going to help us rebuild the middle class.
House Majority Whip Steve Scalise, the plan keeps the current top tax bracket for the highest income earners, lets people keep deducting property taxes, but would drop state tax deductions. Democrats have said this plan would help mostly help the wealthy and big corporations. Police in Colorado are searching for a white guy who drove away in a red car after opening fire in a Walmart last night in Thornton, sending panicked shoppers running.
Finally, we just keep pushing on the door, and it opens up, and you know what I mean? I have my daughter in my arm. We end up running out of the door.
3 others couldn't run away. 2 men were killed in the store. A woman also shot, died at a hospital. A Camden, New Jersey police officer was shot last night in the leg by a suspect he chased down. Other cops supplied a tourniquet to help slow the bleeding. The officer's in stable condition. Reason to celebrate in Houston 2 months after being hammered by Hurricane Harvey.
The Astros picked us up. They gave us some hope. They gave us something to cheer for.
The Astros won the World Series, beating the LA Dodgers in Game 7. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Good morning. It's 47 degrees in Chicago at 8:02 on AM 560, The Answer. I'm David Stewart in for Mike Scott. Cloudy and warmer today. Look for a shower and a high of 52. Mayor Emanuel says the city of Chicago is not under any terrorist threat, but he says the city will learn what it can from the New York attack.
We not only stand shoulder to shoulder with our fellow Americans in New York, but also in their attempt to go back to their daily lives and their daily routines, because an attempt of terrorism is to disrupt that, and I think the people in New York showed what they're made of.
The mayor says the city will modify its emergency training as necessary. Chicago police say the number of homicides in October was down significantly compared with last October. There were 53 people killed last month compared with 80 last October. Shootings were down from 353 last October to 228 this October. The city has seen 570 homicides this year so far, compared with 631 at this time last year. The first Obama Foundation Summit is in the books. Former President Barack Obama spoke yesterday during the summit on Chicago, which aims to inspire a new generation of leaders.
If nothing else, I want you to take away from this summit that sense that you are right there, ready and able to transform the world.
Other high-profile names addressed those attending, including former First Lady Michelle Obama, the rapper Common, and playwright and actor Lin-Manuel Miranda. City is trying to shed its reputation as the most rat-infested big city in the country. Streets and Sanitation Commissioner Charles Williams says there's money in next year's budget for additional crews and additional trash cans. State Senator Ira Silverstein is stepping down from his Democratic leadership position following allegations of sexual harassment. Senate President John Cullerton's office announced yesterday that the Chicago lawmaker is resigning from his Majority Caucus chair post. In sports, the Astros are the world champions for the first time in their franchise history. They beat the Dodgers 5-1 in Game 7 to win the World Series. In the NBA, Miami over the Bulls 97-91. In the NHL, the Blackhawks 3, the Philadelphia Flyers nada. News and service of Accountemps. Unplanned absences happen at every company, even when payroll is due. So when your payroll or accounting team is short-staffed, call Accountemps. They provide accounting and finance professionals on a temporary or project basis, and fast. Visit Accountemps.com to learn more. Accountemps, a Robert Half company. AM 560 News Time, 8:04. From the Fox Business Network, here's Jenny Cosola.
From the Fox Business Network, the president's selection to lead the Federal Reserve is Fed Governor Jerome Powell, who has supported Fed Chair Janet Yellen's policy. The Wall Street Journal says Powell has been notified by the White House. Car dealer chain AutoNation is reporting a weaker quarter. It blames the recent hurricanes for slower car sales. AutoNation also says it has a multi-year deal with Waymo to work on self-driving cars. Waymo is the autonomous car unit of Google's parent company Alphabet. Meal kit company Blue Apron lost money in its recent quarter. The loss is greater than Wall Street expected, but Yum Brands, the parent company of Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, and KFC, is reporting stronger business in its summer quarter. Pizza Hut sales increased 3%. KFC and Taco Bell sales were even stronger. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Ginny Cosola.
AM 560 News Time, 8:05. Traffic in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest-growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Chuck Spaveri, CEO of Spaveri's Custom Counters, a Chicagoland manufacturer of residential and commercial countertops. If there's a local commercial bank who knows how to get a deal done, it's Signature Bank. When my brother and I needed it, Signature Bank came through with a creative financing solution. That's because Signature Bank has experience working with companies like ours, a second-generation, family-owned and operated manufacturer. Our business matters to Signature Bank, and that comes through in every visit and every phone call with their team, right up to the bank's co-founders, Kevin, Mick, and Brian. Spaveri's is proud to bank with Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
I'm Jay Farner from Quicken Loans. The rate today on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.875%, APR 4.05%. But choosing the right mortgage lender involves so much more than just a rate. Only Quicken Loans has earned 11 J.D. Power Awards. No other lender comes close to that level of client satisfaction. And we invented Rocket Mortgage. It gives our clients a simpler, hassle-free way to get a mortgage completely online in minutes. No one else has anything like it. And our people. Each one of our 17,000-plus team members throughout Detroit, Cleveland, and Phoenix provides absolute client satisfaction each and every day. So why would you go anywhere else to get your mortgage? Go to America's #1 online lender. Call Quicken Loans today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com for the best mortgage experience on earth. That's 800-QUICKEN.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal Housing Lender licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
At 8:08 from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim Talamonte.
David, in Libertyville, Winchester Road is blocked. 45 in Franklin, there's a stalled train. Eden's 21 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose outbound 33. It's really jammed. Dundee to the Spur. There's a crash in the right lane at the top of the exit, westbound Spur ramp. Kennedy inbound delays start at Canfield. An hour and 3 minutes O'Hare to downtown. 33 minutes from Montrose, 30 in the Express. Outbound 29 to Montrose, 55 to the airport. On Eisenhower, an hour and 15 minutes from 390 to the Circle. 53 minutes from Mannheim. Outbound 46 to Thorndale. On the Stevenson, an hour and 14 minutes, 3:55 to the drive, half out 46 minutes. The Ryan, 29 minutes, 95th to downtown. Bishop Ford, just a mess for 159th before the Ryan. Got a rollover in the right lane. It's an hour and 10 minutes from 8094 to the Ryan. Northbound Tri-State delays. Southwest Highway to 31st. The Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Next to the Bensonville Bridge to the Adams Tollway. Eastbound Adams Tollway, it's slow lead to the Tri-State. Veterans Memorial from I-55 most of the way to St. Charles and Army Trail to 290. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
More of Chicago's Morning Answer comes next, but now the forecast, and here's meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Today mostly cloudy with a brief shower or two, high 55. A shower in a few places during the evening. Otherwise, mostly cloudy tonight, low 38. Tomorrow, cloudy to partly sunny, high 49. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
It's 49 right now at the lakefront at Midway, 47 degrees at O'Hare. Next news, 8:30. Continuous coverage of the latest news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Chicago's Morning Answer continues now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Money Hour radio show, Saturday afternoons at 3 on AM 560, The Answer. Brought to you by Pearshell Financial Group.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. We talked about this book and a write-up in the Wall Street Journal about it earlier in the week. Being There is the name of the book. This is not the Peter Sellers movie. This is not about Chance the Gardener, and being there happens from a happenstance kind of perspective. This is about motherhood. Being there meaning prioritizing motherhood in the first 3 years. Being there, why prioritizing motherhood in the first 3 years matters. The author is Erica Komisar, who is a social worker and psychoanalyst, parental guidance expert, who works in Manhattan, and she joins us now. Ms. Komisar, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
So the science of motherhood in the first 3 years, it tells us what?
It basically tells us that mothers are biologically necessary to children, not just, as we have known for many years, emotionally necessary for children. And that is a game changer. And, you know, there's so much neuroscience and epigenetics and attachment research, some of which goes back to the 1930s and some of which is very, very current.
So what, in your research, what if you, I mean, I know you're not giving advice to women and to parents, you know, that are expecting children, but it is a major suggestion that we should probably quit our jobs and stay at home and be with the kids for the first 3 years.
So actually it isn't a book, even though the title may suggest that. It's not a book about working versus not working. It's a book about prioritizing children whether you work or not. You know, in an ideal world, it probably would be best for mothers to be home in the first year with their children. You know, we know in our country we have no policies that support that, and that's a problem. And one of the reasons I wrote this book was to really give evidence as to why mothers are biologically necessary to children's mental health in the first 3 years. Being there, what I say, more is more. The more emotionally and physically you can be there in the first 3 years, the better. But that doesn't really imply you can't work.
And biologically speaking, the importance of being there, if you could just distill some of the science there, the oxytocin that you discuss.
Well, there's a few things that mothers do for babies. One is they regulate babies' emotions from moment to moment, meaning helping the baby not to go too high or too low with their emotions. After 3 years, the baby then internalizes the ability to do that themselves. So what I was seeing in my practice is an increase in mental disorders in children at a younger and younger age who were being diagnosed and medicated at a younger age. Many of those disorders were disorders of emotional regulation, like depression and anxiety. The other thing that mothers do is they buffer children from stress. So what we know now is that babies are born neurologically much more fragile than we ever knew. And that means that for the first 9 months, a mother is actually the central nervous system for a baby. So, you know, when mothers have to go back to work after 2 weeks or leave their babies in the first 6 weeks, basically there's no buffer for the stress. And what we know now is that stress is very bad for human beings, both physically and emotionally. And there's an inverse relationship between oxytocin, which is produced when mothers nurture babies. It's a hormone in mothers' brains that's also produced in babies' brains that we call it the love hormone. And when mothers nurture, it produces a lot of oxytocin. Oxytocin is a buffer against stress. So as oxytocin goes up in babies, cortisol or the stress hormone goes down. And the same with mothers. There's a lot of science in the book. There's a lot of research to show that we need to give all mothers and babies the opportunity to be together at least in the first year, and then maybe for the next 2 years be able to work flexibly or part-time.
And connecting the dots, as you were just describing, in terms of the implications of mom not being there down the road in terms of a heightened, it seems to me at least a correlative effect, a heightened incidence of these anxiety, depression, ADHD at younger ages. Is that why you say the thing that you really don't like is daycare?
Well, I don't say that universally daycare is a bad thing. There are certain ways in which we could make daycare better, but daycare is my least favorite option. Because remember, a baby is attached to a primary attachment object, which is their source of emotional security. It's usually the mother, sometimes it's the father today. Whoever that primary attachment object is really the baby's source of security. So, the best substitute for that would be to have a single surrogate, meaning a caregiver. And if you can't afford a caregiver, you share a caregiver with another family, as opposed to put a newborn who's very sort of sensitive to their environment in a group or institutional care environment. There are ways to make daycare better, but it would cost a lot of money, and we're not willing to spend the money or, put the time in to train daycare workers to be better at what they do, less transient, and, also just to understand what it takes to raise a healthy, emotional baby in that environment.
Yeah, for a lot of them, it's a job. If you're a daycare worker, and you can, I have 2 boys, and it's a hard decision, but we decided to have she's not a nanny. I don't like the word nanny, but a babysitter, and she was with us for 13 years. And my kids, they thought that she was going to go to college with them. They always thought that she was going to be around.
Because she became like extended family. Yeah,
she's
that's
a grandma.
What we want. Yeah, I think the idea is that if you just think about it from on an instinctual level, an institutional or group environment is going to overwhelm a baby, but it's also going to overwhelm the caregiver, because the ratio right now in daycare is never what I would imagine is ideal, which is ideal would be no more than 3-to-1. There is no daycare center I know that is 3-to-1. Usually they're 5-to-1 or 8-to-1. And you're a mother, so have you ever cared for 5 newborns at the same time? There's no way you're going to be able to emotionally regulate or protect all those babies from stress when they need you. It would be like having quintuplets. So we really aren't, we're not really looking at this the right way, which is why I wrote this book.
Are you surprised by some of the reactions that you've gotten, people that kind of don't like where this is leading politically, and so they are not interested in hearing the scientific research that you've done?
I thought the article was well done because it really has explained my dilemma and my challenges in getting the information about this book out there, which is I really have been rejected by a whole population of women who are defensive and feel guilty about this. Now, they may not be my target population. I'd like to be able to influence everyone. I try as a therapist to reach people who are reachable. And so I would say overwhelmingly I've had a positive response. Since the Wall Street Journal article came out, I've answered 150 emails personally, people saying the article made them cry and nobody has heard this message and they've been feeling this for many years, and thank you, thank you, thank you. So overwhelmingly it's positive. And then I have a handful of very angry and defensive voices. But, as a therapist, I'm used to dealing with that.
Well,
that is...
Yeah. The thing you say in the article that I think is interesting, if it's sticking with kind of the therapeutic perspective on this, is that women who feel guilty and so they're a bit defensive. But you say it's okay to feel guilty, and that's kind of something to work through.
It is. It's like pain. If you're playing basketball and you break your ankle, your ankle hurts and you stop playing on it and you go get help. For some reason in our society, we don't understand that guilt is a signal feeling. First of all, it indicates your conscience is working, meaning you have conflicts you need to look at. And if we're told to ignore our guilt, it's like somebody telling you, well, you broke your ankle, don't go to a doctor, just keep playing on it. And, in fact, when you go to talk to somebody about your guilty feelings, you end up resolving them and maybe making different choices. And maybe you can't make different choices, but you still resolve the conflict. I think in our society we're told just to turn away from our guilt, and that's not a good thing.
Right. I respect your work. And are you a mother yourself? And if so, how many kids do you have? How old?
I have 3 children, and they're all teenagers now. And the story behind my book is I started to write this book and research it about 12 years ago, and put it aside, really, because my children were young, and I realized that the message of my book is you can do everything in life. You just can't do everything at the same time. And so, if you it's not the end of the world to take a little time off to be with your very, very young baby. We know now that by the end of 3 years, 85% of a child's social emotional brain is developed. So you have a very short window, what we call a critical window of development, to make a real influence on that child's emotional security for life.
Yeah,
and I wish I could tell all the moms on our street that have babysitters that you're not going to get this time back.
No.
This is, you're one and done. You go to that extra party after work, or you do things on the weekends where you have babysitters after having, the weekday nanny, then the weekend nanny. This is the only time you're going to have to bond with your kids.
Yeah, and time goes quickly. And, there is another critical window of development. If you missed this window, I'm writing a second book now on adolescence and how it is what we call the second critical window of development. And now we know that adolescence goes from 9 to 29. Used to be 13 to 19. So there is another chance. Yeah.
You're off Obamacare by that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there is another chance to make a difference. But, the truth is that it is a very important foundational period of development for children. And, it goes really quickly and you don't get it back.
Yeah, I like the idea, too. You can do it all, but not at the same time. Like adult life.
Pace
for,
yourself. Like
for I guess, 30 and up when you become an adult for most people. But that adult life is just about making choices, and sometimes one choice precludes doing something else, at least at that moment, and there's this kind of silly propaganda about having it all, and it's not just for women, it's just the idea of having it all without consequence, and no, there are consequences.
Always, and sacrifice. And, life is long. As medical care gets better, we're going to live longer, and we're going to have a longer period of time to have careers and do other things. And, it's not that you can't work. It's just about prioritizing. So there's a lot in the book that working mothers can learn from, meaning there's a lot of advice and tips for working mothers on how to be as present as possible, because some women have to work. They support their families but there's a lot that they can do to repair the absence when they're gone, and there's a lot that they can do to be as present as possible. So I say not all women have the same choices, but all women have some choices.
She is Erica Komisar. She's a social worker and psychoanalyst and the author of the book, Being There, Why Prioritizing Motherhood in the First 3 Years Matters. Ms. Komisar, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
And she joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's what Chicago is talking about. It's Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560. The Answer.
Your phone calls coming up, 312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line.
Did you say you nurture everyone on your block?
I'm just saying I'm there for all the girls on my block. Takes a village, Dan.
Up to 29, I hope.
Forecast for today, kind of damp and gray out there. No sunshine, just drizzle, rain, some fog before noon. A high of 54 degrees. Then tomorrow, Friday, partly sunny, a high near 50. Let's go into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy and Dan. Eden's outbound very heavy from Dundee to the spur ramp, where there's a crash blocking the right lane. It's 33 minutes, Montrose to Lake Cook, but delays persist past Lake Cook. Inbound is 21 minutes to Junction. Kennedy, looking at an hour and 7 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. 45 minutes from Montrose, 34 in the Express. Outbound 43 to the airport. Inbound Ike had a crash reported at North Avenue. Already an hour and 15 minutes, 390 to Burn Circle. 53 minutes from Manheim. Outbound 46 to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 16 minutes, 3:55 to drive. Outbound now okay. Ryan, 29 minutes, 95th to downtown. Bishopford, a solid mess after a crash just before the merge. Delay started Sibley is an hour and 10 minutes, 80-94 from Ryan. Tri-state delays are northbound 95th to 31st. And from the Reagan Tollway, much of the way to the Adams Tollway. Veterans Memorial, very heavy. I-55 most of the way to St. Charles and Army Trail to 290. I'm Jim Talamonte, the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Gentlemen, it's No Shave Movember. Time to change the face of your health for the better. Take the first step and get your levels checked by someone you can trust. I personally recommend my friends at Low T Center. That's where I got my levels tested. Their service was fantastic. Their physicians exclusively diagnose and treat men for low testosterone levels. At Low T Center, they know we hate going to the doctor. That's why they make it quick and easy. With their on-site lab, you get your results back in about 20 minutes. Most health insurance is accepted. This November, Low T Center is offering a testosterone and prostate level test with an assessment. For just $50, guys, take that first step. Contact my friends at Low T Center, now with the location in downtown Chicago on the Mag Mile at 625 North Michigan Avenue. Call 312-239-3427. Tell them Dan Prof sent you. That's me. That number, 312-239-3427. Call 312-239-3427 now or visit them online at lowtcenter.com.
If you did not purchase health insurance coverage during the 2017 open enrollment, I can help you purchase a PPO health insurance plan at any time during the year. This is Tom Marabali, your health insurance advocate and independent producer for Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois and other health insurance carriers. If you are between the ages of 19 and 64, you are automatically paying for maternity coverage whether you want the coverage or not. If you are a non-smoking 50-year-old male or female living in the city of Chicago, the monthly premium rate for a 100% tax-deductible health savings account PPO plan would be $590 per month. But I can show you how to eliminate the mandatory maternity benefit and lower your monthly premiums down to approximately $240 per month. To see if you qualify or for more information, call me, Tom Marabali, at 630-863-3477. That's 630-863-3477.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I have a $1,200 knee brace because I have bone on bone in my left knee, and I have a torn cartilage in my right knee. And since I've been taking Balance of Nature, I don't wear my brace, and I can walk without pain. It's I had these copper things I used to put on my knees. I don't use those either. I don't use anything. I think it's just wonderful.
What are you waiting for? Good health is only a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Call 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code Chicago. That's promo code Chicago. Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies. Order today.
Ow. Yep, you guessed it. I'm a speed bump, so I've got one job. I slow you down. So imagine how I feel about Geico, who does way more. Like, not only could they save you money on car insurance, but they've been around for over 75 years, giving people fast and friendly claim service. Ow. Plus, they got a nifty mobile app that gives you 24/7 access. Ow. Just doing my job, buddy.
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.
At Discover, we believe anniversaries should be a time of celebration, not obligation. That's why we think annual fees are ridiculous. And now, just for giving us a try, we're going to give new card members a one-year anniversary gift they'll never forget. At the end of your first year, we'll match all the cash back you've earned dollar for dollar. No caps and no catches, because we know if you try us, you'll like us. And that's worth every penny. Try it and believe it at discover.com/match. Cashback match offer only for new card members. Limitations apply.
Despite President Trump's repeated requests, Senate Republicans failed again to repeal Obamacare. If you're tired of calling a bureaucrat at an 800 number to help you navigate Obamacare, then you need a local expert on your side. That's right, your own health insurance mentor. C. Stephen Tucker, C.S. Tucker, from healthinsurancementors.com is someone I know and trust. He's a 20-year licensed broker who's been educating AM 560 listeners on the Affordable Care Act for the past 6 years.
Thanks, Dan. ACA open enrollment is now only 45 days long. From November 1st to December 15th, you cannot be denied coverage based on a pre-existing condition. And depending on your income, you may find a more affordable plan. With narrow networks, even fewer choices, and higher deductibles, now more than ever, you need an expert to help you gain access to the best hospitals and specialists available. Call me. I can help.
Thanks, Steve. How can our listeners get in touch with you?
They can visit healthinsurancementors.com or call me directly at 630-674-1551. That's 630-674-1551.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, reactions to our interview with Erica Commissar. Title for her second book, Being There the Next 26. Yeah, I mean, I get the first three makes a lot of sense to me. The idea that adolescence goes to the age of 29.
That was a hard pill to swallow.
Well, yeah, I'll be interested in her argument because, I mean, at least she's making science-based arguments, so I want to give her the opportunity to do so. But let's also give Barbara from Woodridge the opportunity to make her case. Barbara, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi, thanks for taking my call. I just wanted to encourage any moms who have really small little ones that to do everything that they can to stay home with the children. We did that. It was a great sacrifice. We shopped at Goodwill. We did not go on vacations. We drove junky cars. But when my husband and I look back on it, we are so grateful that we stayed home with them. And so many moms nowadays think it's impossible. Well, even back then, people said it was impossible to stay home. But, you know, we prayed, and God worked it out.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Barbara. Appreciate that perspective.
Why are you looking at me funny?
Nothing.
Come.
What?
I work with you.
I know you do.
I still have time for Peyton and Eli.
Yeah, exactly. They're doing well.
Yeah.
They're all good.
Making their own breakfasts in the morning, brushing their own teeth.
And
I'm sure they brush their teeth every morning.
And now you know that their adolescence doesn't end when they go off to college. You got another decade after that.
29. Wow. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Is America suffering from a bad case of Allahu Akbar-itis? We'll ask Michelle Malkin at 8:38.
And later, who's got the potty mouth in the office? A memo has been issued. Dan. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Dave Stewart sitting in for Mike Scott.
Thanks, Amy. Thanks, Dan. Good morning. It's 47 degrees in Chicago at 8:30 on AM 560. The Answer. Cloudy today, warmer, maybe a shower. Look for a high of 52. The suspect in the deadly attack in New York City this week will face federal terror charges. The federal prosecutor, June Kim, announced those charges. He said the suspect was inspired by ISIS videos.
Saipov allegedly admitted that he was inspired to commit the attack by the ISIS videos he watched and had been planning this attack for 2 months.
Kim said investigators found thousands of ISIS-related images, dozens of violent ISIS videos on the suspect's cell phone. Mayor Emanuel says the city of Chicago is not under any terrorist threat, but he says the city will do what it can to learn what it can about the New York attack. Facebook, Apple, and Google's parent company are joining more than 100 other tech firms in challenging President Trump's decision to end the DACA program. Their legal brief says the young immigrants are vital to the U.S. economy and that ending DACA will slow economic growth. A woman is dead after being hit by a car on Chicago's South Side. Police say it happened last night while the victim was lying in the road near 77th and South Cottage Grove Avenue. Citations are pending against the driver. Former First Lady Michelle Obama has some advice for young people in social media. She says, don't tweet every idea.
Most of your first initial thoughts are not worthy of the light of day.
Yes.
And I'm not talking about anybody in particular. I'm talking about us all.
Mrs. Obama was talking with young people at the Obama Foundation Summit yesterday. In sports, Astros over the Dodgers 5-1 in Game 7, so they win the World Series. It's their first crown in franchise history dating back to 1962. In the NBA, Miami over the Bulls 97-91. In hockey, Blackhawks over the Flyers 3-0. The news is service of Napa Auto Parts. This month, Pennzoil full synthetic motor oils on sale for $4.99 a quart at any participating Napa Auto Parts store. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how. General States prices do not include state and local taxes or recycling fees, and the offer expires December 31st. AM 560 News Time, 8:33. We'll have a look at traffic in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Mike Gallagher believes there are some
Hey, you've
issues
heard how Automated Systems excels at assisting companies with systems integration and FDA compliance.
but they're also a staffing leader. They supply handpicked elite leadership, subject matter experts, and proven technical professionals in engineering, quality control, and FDA compliance to support the life sciences field in executing mission-critical projects. ASI provides highly specialized pros to deliver projects on time and budget. Don't pay a lot more to a big consulting firm, and don't trust the big temp agencies to supply the talent you need. Call Laz, my friend Laz at Automated Systems, when failure isn't an option. ASI is retained by all of Chicagoland's Fortune 500 life sciences companies, from big pharma to startups, and excel through a culture of excellence in execution. For a staffing, compliance, or automation evaluation, call Laz now at Automated Systems at 844-HIRE-ASI or visit AutomatedSYS.com. That's 844-HIRE-ASI or AutomatedSYS.com.
At 8:34 from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, now here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, David. And Round Lake Beach, Shorewood Road is closed between Haynesville and 83. There's a crash. 2 ambulances are responding. Eden's 20 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose outbound 28. There is a crash at the spur of the right lane. Kennedy, an hour and 11 minutes O'Hare to downtown. 52 minutes from Montrose, 41 of the express. Outbound 25 to Montrose, 46 to the airport. Inbound I-54 North Avenue, we got a crash of the 2 right lanes. Delays start around York. It is from 390 to the Burn Circle, an hour and 7-minute drive. It's 46 minutes from Manheim, outbound 48 to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 16 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound okay. Ryan, 27 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 32 minutes, I-8 to the merge. Bishop Ford, 55 after a crash just before the merge. Lakeshore Drive delays southbound Bryn Mawr to North Avenue, northbound from the Stevenson to Jackson. Northbound Tri-State gummed up from 95th to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway much of the way to the Adams Tollway. Heavy on the northbound Veterans Memorial from I-55 most of the way to St. Charles and Army Trail to 290. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
More of Chicago's Morning Answer comes your way next, but now the forecast. For today, mostly cloudy and warmer, maybe a brief shower or two. We'll see some fog this morning. Look for a high of 54. A shower in places this evening. Otherwise, mostly cloudy with a low of 39. Tomorrow, partly sunny with a high of 50. Right now, it's 49 degrees at O'Hare. Next news update, 9 o'clock. Get continuous coverage of the latest news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Now, more of Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Kelly Financial Services, helping you secure your financial future today. Visit kellyfinancialservicesinc.com.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues now. And make sure to stay tuned to catch me, Mike Gallagher, coming up at 9, only on AM 560, The Answer.
Been doing some research, Dan and I.
Yeah. Well, you were so taken by the Carlos Correa proposal to his girlfriend after the Astros won the championship yesterday.
She has a name, Daniela Rodriguez, former Miss Texas 2016.
Yeah.
So we're just doing some research, seeing
Nice rock you put on her finger.
Yeah.
We were talking to Erica Komisar, the psychoanalyst from New York, who's wrote this book, Being There, that's creating quite a stir about motherhood. And she said her next book is about adolescence. 13 to 29, we got a text from 708. Dr. Komisar is onto something. My husband was a child until he was 32. So maybe that second book will do better than I thought. Okay, we're moving from motherhood and the politics of that, of sorts, to the update on the terrorist attack in Manhattan. The Uzbekistan national who ran down 8 people, murdered 8 people in New York, injured another 11. We know a little bit more about him, and we, of course, know how he got into this country, which is he was a lottery winner, the diversity lottery. President Trump addressed the diversity lottery. That's been a 25-year part of immigration law in this country, and he doesn't want it to make it to a I guess 27 year, 1990. He doesn't want to make it to a 28th year.
I am today starting the process of terminating the diversity lottery program. I'm going to ask Congress to immediately initiate work to get rid of this program. Diversity and diversity lottery. Diversity lottery sounds nice. It's not nice. It's not good. It's not good. It hasn't been good. We've been against it.
And somebody who agrees with him is James Drake, who spoke to Fox News. Mr. Drake is the father of Darren Drake, who was one of those murdered in that terrorist attack on the bike path along the Hudson River. Mr. Drake on the topic.
What do I think about him?
Yeah.
I think that he should serve the rest of his life in solitary. That's exactly the way I feel. Don't let him get communication with anybody. It's these people. They come to the country and they hurt us. I mean, what do they expect? I mean, of course, there's a war going on between America and ISIS and Al Qaeda. Of course, there's a war going on, but I just think that vetting should be a lot more difficult. To allow these people to come into the country, especially a single man. I understand he was married, living in Patterson, but I think that when he came in as as one person. But I'm not sure of that. Matter of fact, we have Syrian neighbors across the street. I love them. I love the lady like my sister. They wouldn't hurt a fly. But you get these, these radicals, and my son is the victim.
More on this topic. We're pleased to be joined by our friend Michelle Malkin, senior editor for Conservative Review, political commentator, and author extraordinaire. Michelle, thanks for being with us. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Dan.
So what about what Mr. Drake had to say about, vetting rather than lottery for the sake of diversity?
Well, everything old is new again. 15 years ago when Invasion came out, which was my very first book on all of the failures of our immigration system, every door, front, back and side door, the diversity visa lottery was a big focus of mine. And a lot of people don't understand the history of this program. You've got a lot of instant experts now on the airwaves blaming one party or the other when, in fact, this was a bipartisan creature.
Right.
It was the brainchild of Teddy Kennedy. Chuck Schumer certainly was a co-sponsor, but there were many Republicans who backed this program as well, and it was George Herbert Walker Bush who signed it into law. And as I reported in Invasion, just several months after the 9/11 terrorist attacks, there was a diversity visa lottery winner, Heshem Hadayet, who walked up to the El Al Israeli airline counter at LAX and shot 2 people to death. And people were shocked to learn that the background checks involved in the diversity visa lottery system were almost non-existent, and that once you won one of these golden tickets, that you and all of your immediate family, including your spouse and unmarried children under the age of 21, no matter where they were born, were able to get these tickets as well and a pathway to American citizenship. And in fact, Heshem Hadayet was on his way to American citizenship when he shot people up in a clear jihad attack. And so over the last 15 years, there have been these lame attempts to try and kill off the program. It was wrapped into the Gang of Eight amnesty plan, but that's a disgrace as well. To condition the end of this ill-conceived program on a massive illegal alien amnesty and to tie it together to that and have that be the only way that the program would have been killed, it's insane to think of the idea that we should hand out like Pez candy visas without any regard to the skill set or affinity toward American values. It's everything that's wrong with the immigration system, and yet when the Republicans were in power previously and had control of all of the branches of government and could have done something about it, they didn't. They are just as culpable as Democrats in allowing this program to happen. And Dan and Amy, when I first called attention to it 15 years ago in an interview on C-SPAN Book Notes with Brian Lamb, I asked, well, how many other people have to die before we realize this is a stupid idea and kill it off? And we got the answer this week, at least 8 more people.
So you know about this diversity visa lottery, And thank goodness you do. When somebody wins that, are they vetted at all, or how does the process work?
Now, the background system is a joke, and the federal government has known it for years. In fact, the General Accounting Office had issued a report in 2008 talking about how the background system, check system, was very shoddy and easily cheated. It required a high school diploma, which the GAO discovered was rampant with fake documents and the laxity. So much so that the GAO in 2008 declared the program a, quote, national security risk, and yet nothing was done about it.
And so, in your most recent piece, Alu Akbar-itis, America's Deadly and Debilitating Disease, you recount a comment from former Director of National Intelligence James Clapper, where he said it's hard to comprehend what moves a human being to do that to another human being regarding terrorist attacks. And it's actually not that hard to comprehend. And so your point is, even our professional national security personnel it is cowered by the bigot baiting of the left, and that turns out to be very dangerous, in fact, deadly.
Yes, it does. And when you have jihad denial, of course it is civilizationally suicidal. And when you have programs like the diversity visa lottery that do not vet all of its applicants for their extremism in their ideology, of course we're going to get results like we got this week. And in particular regard to what I diagnosed as Allahu Akbar-itis, it's not simply a condition that is suffered by all of us who see this willful blindness to Islamic extremism, but of course it's something that seems to permeate or to metastasize in the liberal media as well as academia. This immediate rush in the wake of clear and explicit jihad attacks to explain away the battle cry, the call of death, for jihad operatives around the world. Allahu Akbar does not mean, quote unquote, God is great. That is not the literal translation, and that is not the words that came out of the mouths of the jihad yesterday or so many of these cases that I've chronicled, unfortunately, for years. It means kill all infidels. I mean, do these people not listen to Nidal Hasan? I mean, after the Fort Hood massacre, he had a PowerPoint that he had presented to officials, higher-ups at the Pentagon, where he was explaining exactly why there's this imperative to kill infidels and the inner conflict that Muslim soldiers in particular would have in serving in the U.S. military when they had higher imperatives. And even then, even though he was telling it to their faces, they refused to see and hear.
Well, Jake Tapper on CNN said Allahu Akbar means God is great, and it's used at weddings and celebrations.
Yes, and that is a beautiful phrase. And certainly it is uttered as an utterance of peace many times. But to emphasize that in the face of the utterance of Allahu Akbar by the Muslim monsters who decapitated Nick Berg and Afia Siddiqui, who is the convicted al-Qaeda scientist, or Nidal Malik, who I mentioned, or the machete-wielding murderers who beheaded a soldier in daylight in London, or more recently, a couple of cases in Fresno and in Minneapolis where jihadists were uttering this in the courtroom as they were killing people. It is not a beautiful phrase when it is uttered by people who are intent on killing innocents, who don't believe in the same religion they do.
Related story out yesterday, these documents that were released from Osama bin Laden's computers and personal effects, and this 19-page memo that documented to this point, at least either unknown or just undisclosed relationship between al-Qaeda and our new partner in peace, the lead state sponsor of terrorism in the world, Iran, which the previous administration has provided a glide path to nuclearization. What did you make of that revelation about al-Qaeda's linkage to Iran?
Yeah, well, it's not a surprise. People have been warning about this for years, and there was sort of a disillusioned comfort that somehow the political disagreements would trump and not be transcended by, an overall imperative of Islamic imperialism. And, it's just one more warning flag about our need to understand the Quranic roots of Islamic jihad. You've got left-wing ideologues, and that includes Barack Obama himself, who've tried to explain away all of these acts of murderous jihad as somehow stemming from poverty or a lack of tolerance and understanding. And that kind of deliberate whitewashing of jihad is what's going to get more people killed. And thank goodness, I have had my disagreements with President Trump, but on this, he does have a sense of both historical and moral clarity, and he has people around him who certainly understand it. And in terms of translating that to policy, I think one of the most important things he's done is stand by his imperative to have extreme vetting in our immigration processes, and then yesterday, of course, finally taking, I think, real concrete steps to eliminate the diversity visa program.
She is Michelle Malkin, senior editor for Conservative Review, political commentator, author. You can find her work at michellemalkin.com. Michelle, thanks as always for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks, appreciate it.
And she joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You've switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
A little bit of breaking news. Mike Scott has just texted into the program.
And he said, "Where's the rest of me?" Like Reagan in Kings Row.
He said he's at home surviving, and he didn't have his appendix out. Instead, he had ab replacement surgery.
Oh, good. Well, he's at that. I can't wait to see those washboard abs when he returns.
Yeah, that six-pack, huh?
All right.
You could ask him about it. I won't.
I
because
feel
that will be
a
bad.
bit foolish trick-or-treating for Halloween as Mike Scott's appendix now.
No, he got his appendix out. I asked him, too, if he could bring it back in one of those, and a Tupperware dish.
Yeah, we'll put it in the
next week.
studio. Put it on the Wall of Fame.
Yeah, that'd be great. Forecast for today, it's just going to be a gray day. Drizzle, fog before noon. Light rain begins at 4 o'clock, a high near 54 degrees. Tomorrow, partly sunny, so that's good. No rain in the forecast, a high near 49 degrees. Let's get into our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy and Dan. Let's all wish Mike a speedy and restful recovery. Right now, the Kennedy inbound, it's really heavy from Austin to Randolph. It is an hour and 11 minutes, so here to downtown. It's 52 minutes from Montrose, 41 on the Express. Outbound 46 to the airport. Edens is 20 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose. Outbound 24, the Eisenhower, an hour and 7 minutes from 390 to Burn Circle. 46 minutes from Manton. Outbound 36 to 390. Stevenson, an hour 14, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound is clear. Ryan, 27 minutes, 95th to downtown. Bishop Ford still very heavy after earlier crashes. 50 minutes from 8094 to the Ryan. Northbound Tri-State jammed, Archer to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Northbound Veterans Memorial, the I-55 to the Reagan Tollway and Army Trail to 290. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
You know how to fight off the flu, just get a shot. But what about a virus that attacks your computer? Ransomware, viruses, hacks, intrusions can cripple your company's computer network and stopping business in an instant. Is your network safe and protected? Can your data be restored easily? If not, you need to make an appointment with Turnkey IT today. Turnkey IT provides frontline security for your network and its data. So if there's an email attachment opened in error or network intruder, Turnkey IT immediately knows and remedies the situation. They'll arm your network with cutting-edge antivirus, disaster recovery, and proactive monitoring software systems to stop virus outbreaks before they have a chance to spread. Over the phone or in person, Turnkey IT is your network safeguard against this season's worst bugs. See what a dose of Turnkey's proactive support can do for you. It's easy. Visit turnkey.pro. That's turnkey.pro.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I have been on these supplements from Balance of Nature for a couple of years now. And prior to that, I used other supplements. They did nothing for me. This has been absolutely wonderful. I have never felt so good, and I have felt so much better health-wise. My cholesterol's down. All my numbers are down, and it's been great. So I highly recommend Balance of Nature.
What are you waiting for? Good health is only a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Call 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code Chicago. That's promo code Chicago. Balance of Nature. Order today.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity, sponsored by Upstream-Ideas.com. Sometimes an apology and a check is all the justice that one can obtain in a world with imperfect remedies. That's not the case with the IRS. The DOJ settled 2 class action lawsuits against the IRS involving nearly 500 unique parties who shared a common complaint. They had been improperly and arguably illegally targeted by the IRS for their religious or political beliefs. Americans who had their constitutionally guaranteed first freedoms violated received an undisclosed financial settlement and a half-hearted apology. The IRS chalked it up to mismanagement rather than what it was, the most powerful non-military agency of the U.S. government attempting to silence Americans with whom those in charge disagreed on religion and politics. Asking for the contents of an organization's daily affirmations, as the IRS did, is not incompetence, it's predation. So how is it that the self-styled champions of the little guy in the D.C. press corps have left this to be one of the most egregiously underreported stories of government abuse in recent memory? Where are the Woodwards and Bernsteins who purport to serve as a check on the powerful and a vanguard of liberty? There's a legal maxim that justice delayed is justice denied. With respect to the IRS abuses, this was justice delayed, denied, and ignored.
Savings based on 2-year protection plan compared to T-Mobile premium device protection as of July 12, 2017. SquareTrade does not cover lost or stolen items. Terms and conditions apply.
Getting a new phone? Get this. Every 2 seconds, one of us accidentally breaks our phone. So, protecting your phone is a smart idea. But phone insurance through your wireless carrier can cost as much as $15 every month. Switch to SquareTrade phone protection instead, for half the cost of insurance through your wireless carrier. And you could save $200 or more. It's like protecting 2 phones for the price of 1. SquareTrade covers accidents like drops and spills with easy same-day repair options. Part of the Allstate family, we're trusted by over 30 million customers with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. And switching to SquareTrade is easy. How else can you save $200 in 10 minutes? So don't wait. Switch today.
Switch to SquareTrade now and you can save over $200. Visit SquareTrade.com. That's SquareTrade.com.
You've heard of living trusts and how they can help protect your assets, but you may not know if a living trust is right for you. Or maybe you have questions about creating your own living trust. The fact is, almost everyone can benefit from a living trust, which can protect your assets from the court system and your loved ones from unnecessary expense and inconvenience. Learn more at a free seminar Thursday, November 9th. Estate planning attorney Robert Zapolis will explain how to create your own living trust, estate planning under the new tax laws, why a will does not avoid probate, and more. Have your estate planning and living trust questions answered absolutely free. Don't miss this important seminar Thursday, November 9th at 6:30 p.m. at Papa Joe's Restaurant, 145th and LaGrange Road in Orland Park. The seminar is free and a complimentary dinner is served, but you must make a reservation now. Call 708-478-1400. Call 708-478-1400. Again, 708-478-1400.
Varicose and spider veins. Wow, what a gift from my mom. She had them, I got them, and not only are they uncomfortable and sometimes painful, but I stopped wearing skirts and shorts because I was embarrassed and I really hated the way my legs looked. When my kids asked me, "What are those things on your legs?" I was done. I finally went to Vein Clinics of America. The procedure took about an hour, and I was right back to work. What they're doing with lasers these days is unbelievable. The staff made me feel so comfortable, and the results, well, even my husband has noticed. Vein Clinics of America has been treating vein disease for over 35 years. They're the largest and most experienced in the U.S. Look, I've been doing the commercials for Vein Clinics for years because I really believe in them, and you can trust them too. The best part, my insurance covered the procedure, so stop hiding your legs. Call Vein Clinics of America right now for your free consultation. Call 800-960-0303. 800-960-0303. That's 800-960-0303.
I'm Jay Farner from Quicken Loans. The rate today on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.875%, APR 4.05%. But choosing the right mortgage lender means choosing much more than just a rate. Let me ask you, does calling the company with the best client service in America, with 11 J.D. Power Awards to prove it, matter? Does calling the company that invented Rocket Mortgage, the industry's most innovative, client-focused technology, matter? Does calling the company with 17,000 plus team members who are helping to rebuild the great cities of Detroit and Cleveland matter? Of course it matters. No wonder our clients have made Quicken Loans America's #1 online lender. Call Quicken Loans today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com for the best mortgage experience on earth. That's 800-QUICKEN.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
AM 560. The Answer.
Hey, look, it's bedwetting, cake-eating, leftist troll John from Mundelein on the line. Hi, John.
Oh, you're going to let me...
See you, John. Pleasure as always. By the way, breaking news, House Republicans have unveiled their tax rewrite. We'll have all the details tomorrow.
And we just want everyone to know we have a memo been released to our office. It says, it's brought to my attention that there's been an increase of inappropriate language, Dan. This language can be offensive to our clients, guests, and fellow employees. Just want to remind people of the company handbook. Okay? Excessive use of profanity. It's offensive to others, and it could cause a problem for future employment at this company.
Uh-huh.
Please be conscientious of your speech, especially the use of curse and or vulgar words in the office.
Thing sucks.
Yeah. Boy, I hope that doesn't apply to Twitter feeds for other people in the employment of this organization.
Who are you talking about?
Well, I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying. And you watch your potty mouth. We got a nice fresh bar of soap right here, Coach. You're trying to mold young men and women in volleyball, for goodness sakes.
Thanks so much for making us part of your morning. Thanks to Justin Kosick and Quinn McCarthy.